There we are. I think we're about live now, James. I think we are live. Hello, how's everyone doing? Welcome to the Watchalong for Sunderland's game against Wrexham. I'm Conor Bromley. I'm joined by one half, the worst half of the Disco Pants podcast, James Copley. James, how are you feeling today ahead of this game?
I am very well. I'm looking forward to the next 2.5 hours. I've got Ribena, I've
Nice.
got Coca-Cola, I've
Nice.
got wine gums. So let's do it. There may be some baby noises in the background because obviously you can't really keep a baby quiet for 2.5 hours. If anybody knows how to do that legally, then please let me know. But yeah, there might be some noises, but I'll try and keep myself muted best I can if he's making noise.
That's fine. I'm sure we'll all accept it. It's fine. We all understand. And if I've got a dog could bark. Because Max has been getting very involved recently on the streams. Let's check in though on the comments. People, Fred Holmes straight away. It looks as though Wilson could be going to West Ham, possibly with a Dingra. I made a video about this afternoon, about Wilson. I'm not a fan of that idea because I think it would just give us a lot to do in the transfer market. But what do you make of that? Wilson seems to be getting more and more linked to West Ham.
I think it's interesting because obviously West Ham now in the Championship, they do have parachute payments, but the level of fee Sunderland would need would probably be about 20-25 million.
I said that apparently that for 30.
Exactly. He would obviously need replacing as well. He's obviously come back with Sunderland. He's looked pretty positive in his videos. He's linked up with the squad. I think what's triggered the speculation is the fact that he's had to go home, hasn't he? But that's a personal issue, Regis de Bries has stated. Not too serious, he also emphasises. So probably put a sense of, putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5 at the moment. Let's just see how it plays out. But I wouldn't like to see him leave unless Sunderland had a ready-made replacement. And I think the thing is with Isidore as well, is he's 1 year into his Premier League journey. And I think he's had that sort of year of trials and tribulations of being out the team. He came back in. He did really well towards the back end of the season. However, if you are going to sell him, now might be the best time because I think he's only got 2 years left on his contract.
Yeah.
So his peak value might be now. But I just don't see it. Maybe since the window goes on a little bit, but for me, not at the moment.
No. We've got in the cloud saying I want Brobby to headput parking in the nuts. It's fair enough.
There's a lot of ex-Sunderland stuff going on today, isn't there? Like Broadhead, yeah. George Dobson, Parkinson,
Kiefer Moore. I don't know if he's playing.
Kiefer Moore, bloody yeah, legend.
Yeah, legend of the club. Alex says, I like Isidore, but obviously being second choice and think we need another profile similar to Brobby to compete with him. Jay says, Isidore went home because of personal problems. Please don't stop declaring that he's certain to leave. Don't know if anyone's declared he's certain to leave. Hello, Francis. Hope you are well, my friend. Hello to Macam Chat. Hello. Is Enzo on the bench? We haven't even talked about the Sunderland team. Should we talk about the Sunderland team? We've got Roofs in goal. Yes. Then we've got Nordy, Luke O'Nine, Renildo Ballard. This is going off your team sheet here. Renildo Ballard, Trey Hume, Habib Diarra, Noah Siddiqui, Romain Mundell, Chris Rigg, Brian Brobby. So I'm guessing it's a back four of Nordy, O'Nine, Ballard, Renildo, Hume playing right wing, Mundell left wing, Diarra, Siddiqui, Rigg in the middle with Brobby up front. But yeah, any news on Enzo? I presume it's just a precaution or on the bench?
I'd imagine it's just a precaution. I haven't heard anything. He's played all of the other pre-season games, hasn't he? So and done quite well. I imagine Le Bris will be asked about it afterwards if the club don't put out something first. But I'm not worried. I don't think it means there's any sort of. I mean, there could be a little knock or injury, but we haven't heard anything major. So, and I doubt it's transfer related. So I think, yeah, it's nice to see Habib Diarra and Noah Siddiqui back as well. Robin Roofs, obviously, Robbie getting more minutes. So this is definitely closer to the team you would expect for Ipswich. Not exactly, because you need Xhaka in there. And, hopefully a new right winger at some point as well. But we're getting closer, aren't we? I think this is the most intriguing lineup of the pre-season tour so far, because now I think we're starting to shift into territories where you're starting to take results and performances a bit more seriously, aren't you? Just because that is more of a lineup you would expect to see in the Premier League. Like with a couple of injuries and suspensions, that could line up in the Premier League at some point, couldn't it?
Yeah. Well, obviously at the end of the season, O'Nine was playing centre-back, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So you'd think that opening day, Alderete, presuming that he's fixed, we know he kind of had a bit of a niggle at the end of the World Cup, but Alderete would probably go in at centre-back. I would guess Meunier is probably going to be the cover initially, just because he's coming back so late. Xhaka, there's just no way that he's not going to be starting in the middle come the opening day of the season. But yeah, it's pretty close to where we are. I wonder if today they want to look at Habib Diarra in there, because he's got a potential to have a big season. So maybe they thought, right, we'll stick him in there, and get him up to sort of sharpness with the actual 11. I wonder if that was the decision.
My reading is Chris Rigg is the 10. It'll be confirmed,
Yeah.
I think, when they start playing. But Chris Rigg 10, Noah Siddiqui in the middle, with Habib Diarra. That's how I'm seeing it.
It's interesting to see how it kicks off.
As George literally has nicked my wine gums from the table.
Just heard.
He's 11 months old and he's nicking wine gums.
Just loves the wine. Tell him there's no alcohol in them.
Yeah.
Michael says Enzo must have stayed in New York, I presume, fighting crime. Yeah, he could be doing that. Like Batman.
He's got to see the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, Batman's its own city, isn't it, based on New York?
I mean, the other thing to say is we don't actually know the subs, so there's every chance he might just play in the second half.
Why did they not release the subs, by the way?
I just think it's because it's pre-season. They did release like 6 subs at York, but then some of the subs in the second half were the same as the first half anyway. So I think it's just so they can throw on who they want at half time, essentially, because it just doesn't really matter, does it?
No, that's true. Justin Torby, obviously, he is our right wing answer. He could be our right wing answer. It's just a shame he's not here at the minute. Ryan says, some people have been commenting on posts that he refused to train after the Liverpool game and had a tiff with Regis. Any truth in that? I'm sceptical, as just rumours. Well, didn't the club put out big things of him being in New York? I'm pretty sure.
I haven't heard anything. No. I haven't seen or heard anything like that, and I'm pretty sure Regis Lebris praised him after the Liverpool game, didn't he?
Yeah, I would say, Ryan, that is 99% bollocks.
Don't listen to the news on Facebook. Just come to the Conor Bromley channel or the Sunderland Echo and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I was going to say the Disco Pants podcast. Gary says, "Afternoon, lads. Quite a strong lineup. It is a strong lineup, I would say. We lost most games last pre-season. We did. Yeah. So, what do you want to see from the game today? What's your hopes and expectations? I mean, obviously, we don't care about the result, really. I think Wrexham have had a really good pre-season so far. They beat Leeds, they beat Man United, so they are, they're looking good ahead into the new season. And for them, these are almost like home games because I think most of their fan base is based in America. So they'll probably want to impress.
Yeah, so for me, there's a couple of things I'd like to see. Obviously, you've mentioned him, but Habib Diarra coming back into things. I hope he has a strong performance. Obviously, it looks like he's going to be playing in the middle. So if he can really hit the ground running, I think that would be important. Romain Mundle, somebody who's played a lot during pre-season. We know Regis Lebris really, really rates him. He had a bit of a mare last season, didn't he, when he came in? He missed that chance against Leeds. He then got injured. He then had real, just general personal problems with the racial abuse directed at him. I would absolutely love if he could maybe grasp the nettle, get a goal, get some confidence, get an assist, something like that.
Grasp the nettle? What's grasping the nettle?
Have you never heard of grasp the nettle?
Who wants to grasp a nettle?
It's like taking your chance. It's just a saying. Google it. I'm sure it's a thing, unless I've just made it up.
I hope it's not a thing. That would be funny. I've never heard grasp the nettle before. Maybe
stay tuned for more weird colloquialisms.
Grasp the nettle.
Anyway, I want to see Romain Mundle.
It says, to grasp the nettle means to face a difficult, unpleasant, or scary task with courage and act right away. I mean...
Well, it's even better than I thought it was then, because that's exactly what he needs to do.
There we are, grasp the nettle. It's a thing.
I would like to say Romain Mundle take a step forward, because I actually really, really like him as a player and as a person, whether he's sort of Premier League quality long-term remains to be seen, but it would be good to see something from him. Chris Rigg, I'd like to see him maintain his level. He's been my standout along with Enzo for the first part of pre-season. And Brian Brobby as well. Will he play longer than 37 minutes? Can he build that fitness up? Can he grab a goal? You want your striker to net a couple in pre-season and get going. So those would be my sort of 3 or 4 things that I'd quite like to see. What are yours, Connor?
I would like to see us create a few chances. Like I thought against Leeds, we actually looked pretty sharp against Leeds up to the box, and then we were playing like a lot of balls into the box, and nobody was on the end of them. There was one where Brobby just completely mishit it. But I want to see us look a bit more creative. That's my dream. Well, dream's a strong word. My hope for this game, just a bit creative.
I have breaking news.
Okay.
It's not that bad. But Enzo's got a slight knock, and that's why he's not being risked.
Okay. I was scared that when you said breaking news.
Disco Pants sources have confirmed.
Oh. Scary. There we are. Well, at least it's just a knock. So, was it Ryan you'd said you'd seen on Facebook? Don't believe what you see on Facebook. Unless James posts it, don't believe what you see on Facebook.
Even then, I would try and get a second opinion.
Michael Batty says, I've heard of choke the chicken, but never grasp the nettle. Fair enough. Lots of weird
Well, that
sayings.
is something else entirely, to be honest.
No Me No News says, afternoon, lads. Thank you. Thanks for the watch along. A strong lineup and the Sunderland team looks canny. Also, grasp the nettle. We will grasp the nettle today, shall we, and James? We will grasp that nettle. Steve says, just woke up from my Sunday nap. Tell I'm getting old. You okay today? You would like to see goals for Sunderland. And yes, I am very well, mate. James is very well. I'm very excited. This has been my main event of the day today. This is all I've been looking forward to, was this match and this watch along. So I'm looking forward to that. Rob was ahead of the curve, yes, James, 3 minutes ago. Enzo has picked up a slight knock, so not being risked against Wrexham. Red and White Vic says, "Hola, gents." Hello, Red and White Vic. Check out her TikTok page. Got a big TikTok page, so check that out. And Louise Robinson says, "Afternoon, gents." Hello. Oi, oi to you, Charles Hunter. There's so many comments, James. We go through them all as much as we can. I did a video today about Wilson Isidore, but actually the whole point of the video was actually more about squad depth. And Sunderland, it's a weird one. Sunderland, I think, are set pretty well for the start of the season. We talked about this before, just in terms of how strong the team kind of is right now. But there is a lot of work to do on the depth, and I'm just like, we've got 4 weeks left of the transfer window, which is a long time, but you kind of, like, I'm beginning to just feel like we need to start seeing a bit of movement this week to quell my panic.
Are you not like, I was talking to Phil about this, and I trust Regis, don't get me wrong, but when he comes out and he says, I've got 15 or 16 core players, so I'd like to add another 4, and I'm like, we're in Europe, and I'm sure he's got a plan, and the data, he'll know more than me, and the club will be well prepared for this. So this is just my sort of man in the pub analysis, but I can't get away from the feeling that we do need a little bit more depth, and perhaps we'll rotate in and out some youngsters, but I do worry about sort of going back to the same pool of 16 to 20 players over and over and over again during the season. Because actually we saw, when Sunderland had a couple of FA Cup games and a couple of 2-game weeks, towards just before we picked up again towards the back end of the season, when we had that little lull, we went out against Port Vale, we lost to Nottingham Forest. It looked like actually that core group had faltered a little bit, and they looked a bit tired and they looked a bit out of sorts. So with the Europa League as well, that does sort of keep me up at nights. Actually, I think that question, and I don't know whether the club have got it right on that, but I guess it remains to be seen.
Yeah, the thing is you can only register so many players, can you? This is where I give a little bit of interest to the Isidore links, because Isidore's obviously classed as a foreign-based player, and if they are sort of thinking, right, we want to buy in maybe 2 or 3 foreign-based players, and we think we can get a homegrown player to cover that striker spot, is it maybe a case of that's the kind of puzzle that you have to fit together? So maybe the move on Wilson, because they think, right, we can buy a UK-based player to play that centre-forward second position. I don't know who that would be. And then it means that we free up a spot for a foreign-based player, because we do have issues with the homegrown player quota. That is a problem. There's no getting away from that. It is a problem that we've got no real homegrown club players that are to be registered. So I just wonder if maybe that is where this Isidore thing's coming from.
Yeah, it could be a consideration, and I do think, everybody's got a price at Sunderland, haven't they? So if you could get the level of fee for Isidore, which will be probably about 25 to 30 million, which is nuts, really, isn't it? Because I really like him as a player, and again as a person. But he's scored 6 goals in the Premier League, and he's worth 25 to 30 million potentially. It's insane. But yeah, I think they'll have all sorts of considerations. Have you heard about this UEFA rule involving swap deals? So I wrote about this today on the Sunderland Echo, but if we transferred a player to Roma and we bought a player off Roma, UEFA can deem it a swap deal if they think something dodgy has gone on. So if we bought Sewell, for instance, and then we sold him a Dingra for similar money, UEFA could look into that, and then for SCR purposes, they could technically deem that as a swap, which means you wouldn't get the money amortized over 3 seasons. It would just count as a swap. And Aston Villa have actually come up against this with Chelsea and Morgan Rogers and all this sort of stuff. So you've got all of these like hidden things in the background that have to be considered. Obviously, the financial rules are one, and then the squad registration rules are another. It's squad building is not an easy sort of thing to do in a summer when you've got European football. It's actually really hard.
Yeah, well, I mean, as a big Football Manager player over the years, I've walked into that one many a times. Rez Cascade says, hello from Skiathos. Gary and Isla, hello to you. Hope you are well. Hope you are enjoying the weather, which I'm sure is far nicer there than it is here. B and Laney says, afternoon, much better time for a footy match. It absolutely is. However, there's actually more people watching at 12:30 on whatever day it was, Thursday night. So there we are, random. We've got, 15 minutes to go to kick off. James, is there any other things you want to touch on for the next 15 minutes? Any things that are catching your interest, even in the wider football world?
Well, let's zoom in on that, on the transfer window thing, because I think we spoke maybe a week ago, and I wrote a week ago that I'm not panicking yet, but I'm about a week away from actually starting to panic. Do you know what I mean? Like that little panic window, like it's not very long, to be honest. And I take the point that it's still a little while before the season starts, but just through being at work and covering ex-Sunderland players, like deals have started to happen now. Like just in the past couple of days, Welbeck's gone somewhere, Tommy Watson's gone somewhere, Danny Bath signed for a new club. Like all of these deals are starting to happen now. So you would expect things to progress, hopefully very soon. But yeah, I would say I'm about 7 days out from getting a bit tetchy, because
Get a bit worried.
I think that tetchiness has started very much so within elements of the online fan base, and it'll spread like wildfire, to be honest.
Yeah, topical with all
So
this
how do you feel about that?
I'm starting to get a little bit twitchy. I've got to be honest. Like I sort of thought before we went to America, I was kind of hoping to have that right wing. That's basically my issue, is the right wing spot, because it's so important to the team. Everything else doesn't matter that much, because you look at the Sunderland side, we've got goalkeeper sorted. We've got our, Ronaldo can start left back. Mukiele, Mounier, Hume, right back, whoever you want in there. You've got the two centre backs fine, sorted. In midfield, Xhaka, Siddiqui, Lefebvre, Diarra, whoever it is you want in there. You've then got in the forward line, we do have Angulo, we've got Adingra, we've got Mundell, we've got Talby, who can also play on the left. Sprobby up front with Isidore. Obviously, we don't know what's happening with Isidore, but currently he's staying. We've got no reason to think otherwise. But that right wing spot's the only starting spot that's not looking good. I mean, I know Trey Hume can play in there. It's not the end of the world. He did it at the end of the season. He scored against Chelsea and got an assist. So, like, we're not, looking at a disaster situation. But that's the one position that I was desperate for us to resolve quite quickly. And, that's the game changer for me when I look at the Sunderland team. Because last year, I thought we were really good everywhere. But that right wing, we never got right pretty much all. I know we had Traore in there, but it still never felt right. And I think if we injected a player of the quality of like Noah Siddiqui when he was in there, or obviously he's a central midfielder, but that level of player, we were able to sign a player like that for the right wing, I think we'd be a hell of a team. I think we'd be a really good team. So I'm desperate for us to get that right wing position sorted, and that's where my main panic is. But the rest of the team, we can wait until deadline day to sort out a lot of the other positions, because we've got good starting players there. It's not like last summer where we needed to buy in a whole new squad because our team wasn't good enough. This summer, we've got a good team. The team finished 7th. It's just a case of we want to get the right wing position sorted and then through with the cover options. So that's where I am at with it.
What do you make of Lebris's comments? Because Lebris recently came out and said basically that for the the Ipswich and Fulham games, we can just about expect a similar starting 11, and I think that's good, and I get that, and there's continuity, and I actually think there's been so much upheaval in the Premier League, even managerial, where like Marco Rose is your 11th longest serving manager in the Premier League, and he hasn't managed a game for Bournemouth yet. So I get what he's saying. I get what Florian Kasolfi's saying in terms of continuity. I get what you're saying in terms of finish 7th. I think there's a real good core group of players there who are going to hopefully improve as well, because a lot of them are still quite young. They've got a season playing together under the belt. So we haven't lost anybody that we didn't want to lose. But I just can't get away from this feeling that sometimes, and it relates to your right wing position point, that sometimes you need to refresh things and push things on in football a little bit, and continuity is very good. But you do need a couple of new faces in and around that group to really get them all going again. Competition, friction can, create a fire. Obviously, they brought Mounier in. Hopefully, the left back will come in again soon. But is that enough? I don't know. Sunderland did do some decent deals towards the back end of the transfer window last summer. Did we get Hertroyd and Traore on deadline day? I mean, those are both, and Bromley, 3 decent signings, really. Traore would have been a really good sign for us had he been able to stay fit. Her Troy obviously contributed marvellously, and Bromley was a revelation. So deals are there to be done, and stuff will come up late in the transfer window. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I think you can be sort of torn between two camps. I almost just want them to sign somebody in the next couple of days just so we can like relax again. But I do think this all relates to last summer's transfer window as well, where it was just so intense. And obviously, we made 14 signings. I know Guy had to go back, but it was just such an adrenaline dump and an adrenaline rush. And I do think that's some of the angst coming from the fact that it's a little bit boring for Sunderland fans at the moment in the transfer market, and that's not necessarily what you want. But I would challenge that and say, well, do you want a transfer window like Newcastle United's, where it's exciting and there's loads of news because you're probably going to sign lots of players and there's lots of uncertainty, but you've also lost Gordon, Tonali, you're going to lose Bruno, there's question marks on Lewis Hall, and you lost Isaac a year ago, and your manager's gone. So they're just completely like up in the air. It's like stick or twist, and they've just twisted on.
You want
on
our
everything.
position, 100% our position.
100%. So that's sort of my point where I'm like, maybe it's not as exciting and there's not as much movement. And yes, you could maybe argue the closer we get to the season, it can be a little bit concerning and a little bit uncomfortable. But the club have earned a level of trust, and actually, the level of continuity that we have. I actually think the level of continuity we have is a little bit unprecedented for us in the Premier League, in pretty much in my adult lifetime anyway, because there was always a lot of signings and a great deal of uncertainty, whether it was managerial, players coming and going. So, yeah, I guess, do you want the constant drip of dopamine, or do you want Sunderland to be a stable football club? I don't think you can have both all of the time necessarily.
No, that is true. We'll jump back in the comments, and my streams went to a funny picture. I hope yours has as well. Yeah. Serial killer, but Cornflake says, Con, where is the new top? I'm getting it for my anniversary. My anniversary is tomorrow. So on my stream, probably on, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll be wearing the new Sunderland top. Why not?
How long now, Connor, together?
Together or married?
Well, both. Do both.
Together, we got together on the same day that Sunderland played Man City in the League Cup at home in 2015, and we got beat 4-1. I love that, because you can always relate. Like a man can, man and women as well can always relate life events to football games. Yeah, so that was that, and that was 2015, and then we got married 3 years ago. We're about to hit 3 years, which is leather in terms of a gift. So who knows? A gimp match maybe. I don't know.
I feel for Beth massively.
Feel for her.
Oh, well. Yeah. I mean, God, imagine living with Conor Bromley, the Duracell bunny, who just has got so much energy and ideas all the time. She must be exhausted.
Fair enough. Yeah.
She probably never sees you. You're on YouTube that often.
Well, she's got YouTube on in the other room. It's just like, it's always
that's how she watches it.
Yeah. And then she reads my book, and that's it. That's our only contact.
You've got a book out. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I do, mate. It's out Wednesday. If you want to pick one up at the ALS shop, they're there on Wednesday. They'll be shipping on Wednesday as well. Noah, me.
I see what you've done. Invite them down to the ALS shop on Wednesday, but it's because your book's on sale. So now I'm going to have to buy one, aren't I?
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will.
I can't not buy a book when I'm there. I look like a right.
There'll be no mates rates either. I will sign it for you if you want.
No, I want an unsigned copy. I want
the valuable ones, unsigned. No one you says, Connor, question. I was half asleep the other day during the Leeds watch-along, but did you say that your better half thinks you're a handsome potato? Yes, she does. And I think that works. Somebody called us an egg on Beyond the Big Six. They said he has the egg again, talking about Newcastle. I was like, an egg?
You've had worse. You've definitely had worse.
Yeah, I can see egg. I think I've got an egg head, but I would prefer potato. Anyway. Andrew Simpson's watching from Sydney. Back to a 2 a.m. kickoff. Not ideal. Yeah, 2 a.m. Would you still be, if you lived in Australia, would you still maintain watching Sunderland every week?
That's a very good question.
What do you think? Would you give up? Would you go to the NRL or the A-League or something?
I don't think I'd go that far, but like you might just be like surfing or on a beach or having fun during the day. So that might be a consideration.
Are you a surfer? I can't imagine you being a surfer.
No, but I could like do canoeing or paddleboard or something.
Are you much of a swimmer?
I do. I go swimming quite often. I'm just not very good at it. Like I have to go in the medium lane, and I'm very medium in the medium lane. To be honest,
I'm a terrible swimmer. I can't swim. I could survive, but I'm not good. I hate it. Hate being in the water.
I've started. I do like being in the water, but I've started swimming more just because I used to be like a proper avid runner, but the joints just don't do it anymore. So swimming's quite a good alternative, actually.
Yeah. We've had a question asking about whether or not you'd be able to go over to a pre-season tour to cover these for the Echo. Is that ever on the cards
Not
for you, do you think?
not in America, I don't think, just because of the finances involved. But Phil's going over to France, but they're only sending one at the moment. Phil's been all over in recent years. He went to Portugal, he went to Spain, but because he's the chief writer, he gets to go. So that's just the way it is, unfortunately.
That's fair. Well, it means that you can stay and make YouTube videos, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paul says, I think we're forgetting we completely contradicted XG last season. I'm not sure we can do that again. We're screaming for creativity and finishes, but no signs is worrying. Do you care about the XG stat? Do you think it matters or not?
Well, this has all come to a head again recently, hasn't it? Because the Leeds guy, I can't remember what he was called, but basically came out and said that Leeds were better than Villa and Sunderland last season.
FPL Andy or something.
Oh, I can't remember. But it's just ridiculous because you can't fluke a 38-game season, can you? And Sunderland took 4 points off Leeds. You know, you could argue the circumstances, the game at Ellen Road, Sunderland did well to win that and ground it out, but Leeds were absolutely honking. Luke O'Dine should have given away a penalty, to be fair, on Strug because he brought them down. Sunderland got a penalty of their own. They won a marginal game, 1-0. But Leeds were rubbish that day. And they had a lot of shots, but none of them were very clear-cut. I remember the best chance coming perhaps from a free kick that Elborg saved. So, I mean, Sunderland finished closer to the Champions League spots than Leeds did to Sunderland. So I haven't watched Sunderland over 38 games. Like, they weren't the most free-flowing attacking team, but what they did really well is they ground games out, particularly in the early days. But then actually, when they needed to evolve the style a little bit more towards the back end of the season, actually go and achieve something, they did it. So I think XG is a really good performance indicator, but it's not the be-all and end-all. Like, it is possible and sustainable to outperform XG if you take your chances really well. If you are good at taking chances and you are really clinical and really efficient, then I would far rather that than have an XG of 7 every game and not score, because that happens. How often do you see that? I would rather have a low XG and outperform it than have a really high XG and underperform it. And I'm not one of these who just discounts all stats in football, because they do have a place. But I just think that you can put too much store into it, and it's not the be all and end all. And ultimately, football's played on the grass as well.
Yes.
It's not played on. That's where I stand on it.
Mr. Mystic says, where can we watch it? You can get it on Sunderland's website. I think it might also be in Welsh on S4C, but I'm not 100% sure, so check. I think S4C is the Welsh channel.
This one's on Premier Sports as well, isn't it?
Yeah, this one and the last one on Premier Sports. So yeah, there's a few different ways to watch it. If you watch, SJ30000 says Ipswich improving and we're standing still. Yeah, but Ipswich are like, if this is where we were last season, Ipswich have done like this. So, they've come up a little bit. We're also not standing still because we've got a lot of young players as well.
Like the likes of Ipswich and Hull, they have so much to do. Like they have to do what we did last season.
Yeah.
And that was a huge, massive undertaking.
A few happy anniversaries in here. That's nice.
Was that for you and Beth or me and you?
What's our anniversary?
I don't know. We should have an anniversary of that'd falling out. That'd probably be our best anniversary.
Yeah, that's true. Apparently the game's also on YouTube. Who knew that?
Oh, I wish I hadn't paid for it, man.
Yeah, no, I wish I hadn't either. Apparently it's FPL Tactician. That's the name of the guy.
This is interesting. They're showing at the game. They're showing some sort of like industrial video.
Yeah,
that appears to be. It's like coal miners. I don't know. Are the Sunderland coal miners or American coal miners?
I've honestly got no idea. It's moving too quickly.
Well, it looks to be the shipyards. That's definitely Sunderland.
I mean, that's definitely American. It's definitely all Sunderland. I think it is all just Sunderland.
That's the 73 Cup final.
Oh, I'm a bit ahead of you. I'm up to the Tommy Watson goal.
Oh, I am not there. I might try and refresh.
There we are. All the Sunderland fans crying. Oh, and we're on to Wrexham now, who are invading the pitch. All these games have kicked off late, by the way. What's that about?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have actually, haven't they?
What is that about? So annoying.
What do you make of the Wrexham story? Just out of interest, like, because I mean, the level of media coverage they get does annoy me slightly, but I sort of get it as a guy working in the space because it is a mad story powered by like money in Hollywood. But a lot of people properly begrudge them, and I just don't feel that way. Like all power to them, I think.
I think that Wrexham's big problem is that people don't care about Wrexham, they care about the owners. What happens when their owners are not there? It's not sustainable to be... Unless the owners are there for 10 years, people build roots and then they become genuine Wrexham fans. But I think a lot of people look at it... You know, I know people that have watched Welcome to Wrexham who don't care about football and they like Wrexham and they check the Wrexham scores. But once these owners leave, I don't see people sticking around for it. So I think it's not sustainable, especially because of, you know, it's not a big city. It's not, you know, got a history of being at this level. So I think it's going to be very, very difficult for them to sustain it. But I don't begrudge them it because I think that that's why our football's so good, because you can take over a team in the National League and you can get them to the Premier League. I know they're not in there yet, but I think if I was to guess, Wrexham going to be in the Premier League in the next 5 years, I think I'd probably say yes if I had to put money on it.
And what a sliding doors moment as well is that it could have been Hartlepool United that took over.
That's the preferred option.
Had they done that, like it's not beyond the realms of possibility. It could have really changed the landscape of North East football and put, to be honest, a little bit of a squeeze on Sunderland in a way if they were maybe in a similar division at some point. Like the level of money they were throwing around and stuff was, even when they were in League One, Sunderland would have been in the Championship at the time, or were Wrexham in League Two.
No,
but either way, it would have been
Wrexham came
interesting.
up the year we came up. They got the Championship the year before we.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got promoted. They got promoted. So we got promoted to the Premier League. They were
yeah.
in the Championship. So last year was the first year of the Championship.
But yeah, that would have been really interesting. And obviously, Sunderland sort of influenced their decision as well, which is crazy, isn't it? Because they always reference Sunderland till I die, which, in my opinion, having watched a lot of these football docuseries, is to my mind still the best one, because the others are very sort of sanitized. And I think it's such a unique story as well. Like, they wanted to tell the rise back up through the Championship, didn't they? And they just got something completely different. And the club was just such a mess. So it captured it at a unique time that's probably not going to happen ever again. And it probably won't be captured anywhere else ever again, really, because it's just the circumstances and the coincidence. But I think for my money, it's probably the best football documentary or docuseries that I've ever seen.
I'd probably agree. The Amazon ones are rubbish. They're just... The Spurs one, the Spurs one was all right because you had like a few iconic Jose Mourinho moments.
Those were good, like the Dele Alli and the Harry Kane one and stuff like that. Yeah. My dog dying, I am effed, and that was crazy.
Yeah, that was quite good. But
what I will say about the Sunderland Till I Die is that there's actually, like, for all its good value and good entertainment, there's loads and loads of sequencing issues. Like it'll cut to like away fans at Carrow Road when you're supposed to be at the Stadium of Light.
Yeah, it did that. The first season, it really did my head in because they used loads of footage of Grayson at Hull, and like it would be like Sunderland playing, and then the seats in the background were black. And you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Anyway, we are almost at kickoff. The referees are getting their photos taken with the ball.
Can I just say that stadium looks absolutely incredible with the bridge in the background?
Yeah, that's an MLS stadium. I was surprised the other day when they were in New York. It was like dead. There was nobody there. I know it was really expensive, but it was dead. Chris has said, checking in from Edmonton, is the game delayed? It's not delayed. It's just that for some reason every game is 5 minutes delayed for some reason. We're currently handshaking. James, I don't know if you're at the same point as me, but we've got the coin toss.
Yeah, I'm coin toss as well.
Yeah.
Who's actually playing for... Let me just have a look at Wrexham's team sheet.
I haven't even looked at the Wrexham team sheet either. Well, I did very briefly, but I can't remember it.
I know Broadhead and Kiefer Moore are definitely playing, but I haven't seen the rest.
Okonkwo, Doyle, Hyam, Viner, Imre, Thomason, James, Kakase, Broadhead, Moore, Karamartari. So no George Dobson, although he is definitely there because I saw him before.
Do you know, I don't know if this will plug the book a little bit here. I don't know if this came across in your book, but from my conversations over the years, Callum Doyle was probably one of the most low-key important deals we've ever done.
It is mentioned in the book. I don't know how much I go into depth on Callum Doyle signing, but it is talked about how Brian and the 17-year-old defender. But I think it's one of them ones. Somebody said, who I'd interviewed, that this was almost the problem in some ways, that they just flogged him. They just
Well,
played
yeah, they
him.
did. Alex Neil had to take him out, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he didn't play towards the back end. But it was a good sort of yardstick for Sunderland, where Sunderland's reputation within the game, wasn't very good for low knees and young players, and
Yeah.
that was one that they got right, and they knew when to take him out. And after that, you started to see Sunderland being trusted with young players quite a lot. Like we ended up with Ahmad and players like that.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds, Elton John. Who's the bigger superstar football club owner? What are you saying?
I mean, my heart would say Elton John, but in the modern era, it's probably Ryan Reynolds, isn't it? It depends how old you are. Let's face it.
Yeah. Well, when did Elton John?
Like if you're like 40 or 50 plus, you're saying Elton John.
Probably, yeah. But is Elton John? I don't know. The problem is with Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney is that they transcend, into America so big. Like, they've monetized it, whereas I don't think Elton John did monetize it. Anyway, we're about to kick off here.
No, we are.
Big
we are.
Kiefer Moore.
Is it
There we
Kiefer Moore? Yeah.
are. We've had a false start. That's annoying.
I mean, this is really taking the biscuit now, isn't it?
We've had a false start. That's funny.
Hey, dear me.
Right, we've restarted the clock. Hopefully they've restarted the clock on the actual stream. Yeah, they have.
It's
That's
Broadhead.
ideal.
It's Broadhead kicking it off.
There we are. Yeah, so how we're looking in terms of formation? Is it going to be a... I'm wondering if Siddiqui's going to be the sitter and maybe they'll push like Diarra and Rig as like 2 8s rather than
That would be
10.
my take. Yeah, that would be... Let's have a just little look. Zoom out, will you?
It looks like...
It looks Rig certainly furthest forward.
Yeah, I would agree. It looks like Diarra and Siddiqui are going to sit in a bit. Anyway, we're 40 seconds in. And not really much happened. As you would expect for 40 seconds. So they've got a throw in down the left. Somebody's also asked why we fell out. Do we delve
We're going to do
into
a
that
video
stuff?
on this, aren't we?
Yeah, should we do a video on
Well, we
it?
can't. We can delve into it though. I don't mind.
Nah, let's save it. I think people want to hear all the gossip.
I'm actually surprised by how often we like. I know we mentioned it quite a lot, but we do get asked quite often, don't we?
Yeah, well, it was a big thing. We tried to fight each other. There was a...
we met up and had a scrap, and
Yeah. Oh,
Connor knocked me out. Connor knocked me out in 8, and I've never recovered.
Never ever. Long ball up, cleared away from Wrexham, and Wrexham are recycling it in the middle. I quite like Bailey Cadamarti. He was at Sheffield Wednesday, if you remember. Son of Danny Cadamarti. Do you remember him?
I do. Do you think Wrexham can get promoted this year?
No. I think that the Championship's really strong. However, they can finish 8th, and also there's been a ball played down the right wing. Sunderland sprinting through. It looks like Habib Diarra plays it into the box. I thought it was in. Mundle. You should have scored there, shouldn't you have?
Is that on his left foot?
Yeah, it was on his left foot.
He gets in a good position. I do like Romain Mundle a lot. And actually, I think it might have been Red and White Vic's video came up on TikTok, or it's close to where she sits in the stadium. But it was when we were defending the 1-0 lead against Newcastle in the closing seconds, and Romain Mundle's like right back in his box, like shoulder to shoulder, and he's really giving it to the crowd as well. And he's a really good young committed footballer, and I just feel he's just had such bad luck.
His injuries, in it. If he'd stayed fit for us, he would have probably played that whole Championship season the way we went up, and he would have been a big player for us. And then even last summer, when we started pre-season, I think the expectation was that he'd actually be a big part of the team.
Well, we actually forget that towards the playoff final, the big story was getting Mundle back to get Enzo Lefebvre in the middle.
Yeah, it was. But Mundle changed the game against Coventry when he came on at half-time in the second leg.
Yeah, he did. Gave us a bit of an outlet, didn't he?
Yeah. Copley isn't as handsome as the last guest. And guess who said that?
Who was the last guest?
Niall.
I don't know who. Is
Guess
Niall
who
being
wrote
on?
the comment? Yeah, he's on. We're actually gonna do a weekly show, me and Niall now.
Oh, nice. That'll be good.
Bromley
A pair
brothers.
of Bromleys.
Yeah, a pair of baldy Bromleys.
Who said the comment? I'm curious now. Do I know?
Yeah, Niall.
Oh, right, okay. That makes sense. What a guy.
What a guy. Wrexham got the ball, just a long ball from Sunderland up, but Wrexham dribbling forward. Ball played in, but Luke O'Nien. I think I'm a little bit ahead of you, am I, James?
It's only about 3 seconds, so
Okay.
I'm good.
You're okay. Do you reckon O'Nien, he's played all pre-season? Do you think there's a world, or is he just keeping that shirt warm for Omar Alderete?
It's a good question. It depends, because Omar Alderete picked up a little bit of a knock as well in the World Cup, if you remember. I think he played afterwards, but it looked like a real sore one. So you wonder if he was just sort of getting through because it's his nation at the World Cup, and whether that might require a little bit of attention.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd be comfortable with Luke O'Nien starting the season. He ended the season really, really strongly. I think you've just got to accept with Luke O'Nien that he quite clearly is competent, but is he your starting centre-back for 38 games? I don't think so, just because I think he has got that little bit of a rush of blood to the head in him, hasn't he? And he's got a mistake in him. And I think, although everything we do, we always just seem to go back to that Aston Villa game, but he did have a little bit of a mare against Aston Villa. I do think there were other circumstances at play, and he got blamed for just about everything. But I feel like he's got a bit of a clanger in him as well. But I hugely appreciate him, and I think I'm quite happy with him being in the squad and playing games. But I think you do need like a little bit of a level above, and I think he would even probably accept that.
Yeah, I would love to see him start our first Europa League game. That would be a good moment.
It would be a good story, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. Anyway, since we last sort of dived in on the game, not much is happening. Wrexham had some possession, although the ball has been played quite well to Mundle, who's been busy in the game, though he's just been dispossessed, I think, for the second time.
That ball out to the left wing by Roofs was really, really quite good.
Yes, it was. Ranillo's just nicked it.
Don't think Elberg's got that in his locker, personally.
No, he doesn't.
Yet.
Diarra's touch not good enough there, lose it. No, I think a lot of people were quite critical of Elborg. I was surprised how critical people were of Elborg, because I don't even think he was really at fault for the goal.
That's not necessarily what I'm critical of him for. I didn't actually mind the goal. I thought it was a bit of a freak occurrence, Connor. My issue is playing out from the back. I just don't get the same confidence that I do from Roofs.
And that is a hard thing, though. Like, that's the thing for a goalkeeper that is very, like, it's almost as important as being a goalkeeper these days. Also, Wrexham are building down the road.
I actually think Elborg's a reasonable shot stopper, to be honest.
Yeah. But he played them, a few games last season when Roofs was out, and he didn't. I know he let one down, I suppose, with that
Leeds away, Newcastle away. He was decent. Again, a bit like Luke O'Nien in a sense, where I've got no problem with him coming in for a couple of games, but if he's your starting goalkeeper, like Roofs is just better, isn't
he? Yeah. Luke O'Nien's got it at centre back. We do a lot of this in pre-season. We do a lot of sort of standing with the ball at the back. Elborg was doing this a lot. I don't know if you realised against Leeds.
Well, we like to do this in the Premier League, don't we? Where we have the ball at the back and there's a little sort of defensive press and trigger, and they'll pop it into defence, pop it out of defence, and then that sort of frees up a man in the middle. I noticed they did it a lot last season. It's like a bit of a triangle motion movement thing. But the problem is in pre-season, as Wrexham has shown, they're not that bothered about pressing.
No, yeah, they don't want to do it.
And this game, I know it's only 7 minutes in and it's America and it's hot and it's pre-season, but the intensity levels so far have been about 60% maybe of what you would expect in a Premier League game.
Kevin Dacre says, am I reading the fixtures right? Do we play twice next Saturday? And yes, we do. We've got like a televised game in front of people, and then we've got like a B team playing, haven't we? So I think is the B team game first, and then the first team are playing the later game. I think that's how it is.
Yeah, and it's behind closed doors as well, isn't it? The first one. So
yeah,
I know Phil's over there. I don't know whether he'll get any access to that or not. That'll be interesting, actually. So
I presume that behind closed doors one. Oh, I can see a Newcastle fan in the crowd. That's funny. They get everywhere.
Have I just spotted a West Brom shirt as well? You know that green and yellow striped West Brom shirt? I'm sure I've just seen a West Brom shirt.
In all fairness, do you know if you lived in Philadelphia and you love football?
You would go, yeah.
Yeah, would you just go and wear your team's colours?
It's a little bit different from 2 years ago against Blackpool at Bloomfield Road during pre-season, where there was a couple of mag tops in the home end. That is strange.
Wrexham corner comes in. It is headed away from Dan Ballard. Oh, I'm hoping we could counter-attack there. Do you know what I would love to see Sunderland do from corners, James? Leave a man out. Leave a man out.
I mean, they've got pace in the side.
Yeah, I just think, do you know, if like, what is, say, well, let's look at the team today. What real advantages it to have, say, Chris Rigg in the box? Would you be better off having Chris Rigg 30 yards up the pitch so that if you do win the first header, he can potentially, get the ball, and then play a pass, and then you can build a counter? Because I just think like we don't use opposition set pieces to counter. We don't ever get the opportunity to do it.
But the flip side to that is they're so important. You don't want to run the risk of conceding, do you?
That means they've got to pull.
But I do take your point. What is the point of having Chris Rigg in there?
Yeah. Wrexham with a bit of possession inside Sunderland's half, and they've played a ball in. Oh, and it's got to Kiefer Moore, who sees his cross deflected out for another corner.
Good defending by Ballard there, I think it was.
Yeah, Big Dan.
I wonder if the lads that played in the playoff final, like Ballard and Mundell and Chris Rigg, are like, oh, cheers, Kiefer, like we're on significantly more money and we've all signed new contracts. Thanks for that.
Could well be. I imagine there'll be a bit of banter. Wrexham corner, and it is into the area, and Sunderland head it half out, fully out, got a free kick. Rob say no, not Rob. Although I will. Oh, hang on a minute. My stream builder needs to refresh, so we'll do that first. We've got 2 questions for you, James, as well, so we'll do them now. Watching from the queue of Avatar in the Animal Kingdom, Connor. My wife is going mad and threatening to divorce me. I'll still tune in when I'm single, mate. Excellent. Very, very good. No, I mean your news says 2 questions for Jimmy. Do you like Jimmy? Do you take Jimmy? No.
Sometimes I get Jimmy, I don't mind it at all. I feel like you only get called Jimmy when you're old, and that's my only concern. But I've been called Jimmy plenty over the years.
Was the NUFC away game last season a never forgettable memory? And have you ever watched Where Eagles Dare?
I haven't watched Where Eagles Dare, but that is supposed to be a good one, actually, isn't it? On the football docu-series. No, I haven't watched it, and that was pretty unforgettable for me. Because we did a video on this, didn't we, Connor? But it wasn't.
Sunderland building an attack down the right here, just to stop you, James. Nobody's got it in the box. Well safe from the keeper. It's out for a Sunderland corner. Anyway, continue, and we'll come back to the football once the corner's getting taken.
That was a decent little move down the right. Was that Habib? I think it was Habib. And
Habib,
wasn't it? It was pretty unforgettable. Really enjoyable. I'd been to St James's Park before, but not as a journalist covering a Tyne-Wear derby. And I think the circumstances as well, where like the team, when it was announced, I was like, well, we've lost. Just because we had 6 or 7 players out, didn't we? And then to go goal down, Luke and I making that mistake, I thought the right was on the wall, but here's a corner coming in, Connor.
Yes, it's into the area, right at the back post, headed across from Mukiele. Bodies Alawa, free kick to Wrexham. We also have a comment here from Rob saying more players in the box makes it easier to defend a corner, stops the attacking team running into more space. That is true, but if you take a man out, then they've got to take a man out, is how I'd look at it. So, yeah.
But then you get a bit more space for the men that are in there.
Oh, you do, to be fair. You do. And Where Eagles Dare, Jay, is a film, James, which Taff has made me watch. It's seemingly about British infiltrating the Nazis, but I don't want to.
I thought it was the Palace. I thought it was the Palace docu-series. No, what's that one called?
I've got no idea.
There is a Palace one, isn't there? Like an older Palace one.
It might be called Where Eagles Dare because they are the Eagles.
I can't remember. Yeah, maybe some. Yeah.
You got any Phil Parkinson memories? You would have. Would you have known Phil Parkinson? Or was that before you were?
I was working on the patch, but it was before I was sort of like heavily involved. I just remember his record at one point was absolutely honking. Like in his first 15 games, we got knocked out the FA Cup, knocked out the League Cup. I think we went out the Papa John's and we dropped to 16th in League One. And then we had a really, really good run where he turned it round. Because under Parky, like Denver Hume was our best.
Oh, got a bit of an
our best outlet at left wing back, if you remember.
Got a corner. Yes, he was. I enjoyed Denver Hume for a while. I keep realising, I keep interrupting you, James, when there's stuff happening on the field, but it's just because I'm like, fine. Oh, no, we'll dive in. But it's a corner at Sunderland. Phil Parkinson, I talk about him quite a lot in my book, which you can check out on Wednesday if you want. Link in the description.
Everybody says he was a very nice man, but I'm just not sure he had the strength of personality to manage Sunderland.
Yeah, he didn't. I was obviously very ingrained with Phil Parkinson, because obviously in media you have to deal with him a lot. And I just found him to be really quite standoffish. Anyway, we got a corner.
Well, I think it was a shambles at the time as well behind the scenes. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's because I was there. Corner comes in, and it is caught but dropped, but eventually caught by a Okonkwo. And it's funny because these are meant to be signing Patterson, aren't they? That seems to be their number one goalkeeper target.
yeah, but Sunderland are holding out for I think they want about 10 million for him.
It was 8, wasn't it? Was the story, I think, wasn't it?
8 to 10, but I'm just not convinced they're going to get that unless they do it heavily installments and incentive based.
Yeah, Sunderland have
They'll be looking. Oh,
nearly nicked it. And it's a foul. It's a Wrexham foul. Like the stream as well, if you've not already. Hype as well. That's a new thing on YouTube. Although I don't know if you can hype a live video or not. I'm not sure. How do you feel the first 50 minutes has gone? I think Sunderland they've been largely okay, haven't they? Similar to the Leeds game, where they're functional without being massively threatening. We had that one chance with Mundell, but other than that, not much.
yeah, they've been fine. It's not the most exciting game, to be honest. I know we're trying to sell a live stream, but it really hasn't been that much
We're on
in
a
the way.
break here.
That's a really, really good ball by
Diarra to
Luke O'Neill.
Brobby. Oh, it's deflected. He probably should have passed it.
That was an exceptional ball by Luke O'Neill from the back.
Yeah, it was a really good little move, wasn't it?
And was that Riggy with the touch in the middle as well?
It might have been Hume.
Was it?
But it's
yeah,
weird.
because Hume's down. Yeah.
Yeah, Hugh. If you realise, Hume's been playing central and Diarra's been playing on the right. I don't know if they keep interchanging. It's hard to tell from when you're just watching it on a camera. But Diarra seems to be very busy down the right, and Hume doesn't seem to be on the right that much. So I presume
He did that at times last season, didn't he? But Hume's actually got out to the right now, and Diarra's folded back into the middle. So
yeah, so I think it's probably
Chris Riggs actually surprisingly deep. I know Sunderland are waiting for a throw in against them in their own half, but Riggs nearly level with Siddiqui actually.
Diarra's almost he's in the 10, isn't he? Although Riggs just came forward there.
But I mean, I suppose it can be quite fluid with Diarra, Rigg and Diarra, Rigg and Hume, because they can all play on that right midfield position if they need to, can't they?
Yeah. Well, absolutely, and it means you can just flick around it. Very difficult to defend. Wrexham building though on the edge of the area here. That's Broadhead. It's well defended. And Sunderland get a free kick. Happy days.
If I was a Wrexham fan, I'd be quite buoyed by this so far, to be honest, because I think they've been decent. Especially with the ball. I think they've been okay.
They've had a pretty good pre-season so far. I mean, we talked about Udastas before, where I think they'll finish the season, and I think I didn't quite give a full answer, but they'll be probably around the top 8, which is where they were last season, so they might get in the playoffs. But that championship's so strong this season. But they've got a good team. Players like Kifamua, that they are top level for this division.
Yeah. I am typing notes at the same time as well because I have stuff to do for work. So
I know, busy man.
I know. This is multitasking.
Multitasking at its finest. It's absolute finest. Chris said, did anyone see Luke O'Nine's interview about his feelings and emotions? It was very candid. It is on my list to watch, but I have not watched it. Brobby also getting absolutely manhandled, but he plays it off nicely. Trey Hume is on the right wing. Hume plays it to Rigg on the edge of the area. And then it gets whipped in from Nordy, but well cleared from Wrexham. Wasn't a great ball, to be fair. And 09 marauds forward. Drops off to Mundell. We're sort of recycling possession again here.
Do you think 09 gets enough credit? Because I reckon he's probably he would be one of the best ball playing centre backs in the championship if he was playing in there now. And he's very competent at doing it in the Premier League. Don't get me wrong.
Also, have you seen how
he's excellent with his feet?
Brian Brobby just keeps holding that ball up there.
He's so good at it, isn't he?
Mundell to Renildo.
That's good by Siddiqui. That was really good.
That's up for something too. I don't think 09 does, but I think a lot of people, because 09 has been with us from the bottom, from League One, I think it's very difficult for people to accept him as a Premier League player. Me included, that is. Because you've seen him, obviously, have stinkers in League One.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, his first appearance.
Apparently, SJ 30,000 says that the Wrexham commentary are saying that we are sitting in a low block.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, I wouldn't either. Organised. We've got a Wrexham fan in here. They basically signed an entire team last summer and it took them 10 games to gel. That is now in place. And thanks for the coverage. Now on TV in Greece. Excellent, mate. Glad you are with us, Wrexham fan. Glad you are with us.
Don't you think just with like football terminology that once it sort of becomes popularised that even if a team are good defensively, they'll just get accused of being in a low block, and it's like, well, actually, they've just defended well.
Yeah, well,
Like,
low block's such a new term, isn't it? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it Klopp that started talking about low blocks?
Well, you've got a low block, mid block, high block, bloody quarter block, 3/4 block. It's just silly now, isn't it? Really.
Does anyone use a high block? Surely that defeats the object. Also, Bromley is an absolute man mountain. He just is doing all the things we love. And Sunderland have got a free kick.
I think it's really important going forward, actually, if Sunderland are going to develop as an attacking unit. And they did this towards the back end of the season, but just getting runners around Robbie, because he will hold the ball up so well.
Oh, yeah. I think we need to get, if you watch the Dutch at the World Cup, the way that we were playing low block, like the way they were playing low crosses into him and he was eating them up, we need to do that more and more. And I think if you actually look, we've done a quite, like the Mundell chance in this game came from that cutbacks. Ball.
No, I would agree.
Retaking the free kick. George is wanting to get his views in. He's not happy about the way that free kick was asked to be retaken there, was he?
He's actually dying to get on the stream, I think, you know.
Free kick. It looks like Riggy is taking it. Whipped into the area. No, it's not. It's whipped well over the area. I think the term low block is overused to describe basic defence. I would agree with that. Jay says Jenny from the block. Like that song?
Jenny from the block. Oh, the song when we were kids.
Yeah. Jenny from the block. I don't know the words 100%. Big up little George, says Jay as well.
Thank you.
Macam Chat says Mundell isn't, unfortunately, it's not good enough for us in the PL or Europa. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are. I mean, I think Mundell.
I think Mundell can play in Europa, no bother, to be honest.
Do you not think though, like, I think Mundell's not going to be at Sunderland because I think we've got Talby and we've got Angulo, who I'm pretty sure are going to be ahead in the packing order.
This is what I mean at the top of the show. Like, he's had this opportunity in pre-season, but he possibly needs to do something to
keep his scroll.
Because he's clearly tidy and he's a good footballer and he's fairly effective, but there just hasn't been anything in terms of goals or assists, which is what you need. You need those moments you need to produce, which is what Talby did, didn't he? He got moments for Sunderland, and that sticks in the memory. Angulo did it at the World Cup. But yeah, I just like Mundell. I just think his story is really unfortunate with the injuries and everything that's happened. But unfortunately, you have to be ruthless, don't you? And it probably won't happen for Sunderland in the Premier League for him, if we're honest.
No. Big Kiefer Moore there. Winning the header off Ballard, but it goes to Sunderland anyway. But Sunderland give it away.
He loves a pass. He loves a pass to a Sunderland player, that man.
He does. He just loves it. Just wishes he played for me. And a free kick for Wrexham. I will say one thing, that the refereeing for these pre-season games is so gentle. You don't have to do much to get a foul.
I wonder where the referees. There must be locally sourced. I'm guessing from MLS.
Yeah, I guess so. But I think the MLS is back now, because I'm sure Messi played his first game back.
Did he already?
Yeah, we're also doing a hydration break. Hydration break.
Premier League. The Scottish Premier League started as well, hasn't it? Which is just like, it's mental.
Yeah, it started Friday. Rangers drew. Hearts got beat yesterday. I watched that one. And then today I was watching St. Johnstone, but I only watched the first half. They were drawn 1-1.
You need a Beyond the Old Firm YouTube channel, Connor.
Right in. Cover off the other 10.
Yeah. Look at him. There's like the cogs are whirring in his head now.
Could I add the Old Firm or covering off Scottish football to my? No, I don't think so. I don't think that would work. Footy Adventures, they're the ones that do that. Have you ever seen his channel?
No, I haven't. No,
it's worth watching. He did a video at the Stadium of Light because he did a tour, and I was on the video, which is how I became known. But he's got like 300,000 subscribers. Check him out.
I will.
Right, what is?
Interestingly, Jose Font there having a little word with Dan Ballard. Interesting. So does he both centre backs?
letting them know. Kirky Boy says that apparently our stream is 30 seconds behind iPlayer. See, we shouldn't have paid. We should have just used the free iPlayer. Yeah, we are wasting £8.
I know. Is that on YouTube? Is it the YouTube one they've got on?
I've got no idea. But they said 30 seconds behind iPlayer. So
I might switch to the YouTube.
people are not happy, by the way, about these hydration breaks in the comments. Apparently, Steve
Well,
Johnson
given the game
killed
started
mine
like
4-3.
given the game started like 7 minutes late as well, it is a bit daft.
Yeah. We've had a lot of comments also asking about a Hatterin, who's, I think he's a number 10, saying that we should sign him. A lot of people are saying that in here. Maybe his agent's in here watching along. Watch along with us. We're still on a hydration break. I hope that hydration breaks have no place in the Premier League unless it's above 25 degrees. I don't really have an issue with hydration breaks if it's hot.
Hang on, let me.
He's a busy man, is James. The cogs are turning.
So that the YouTube version is like 20 seconds ahead, so I've switched to that.
Oh, God.
Shall I send you a link?
Hang on, I'm on the iPad.
This is probably the time to do it if you're going to do it.
What do I type in? Wrexham, Sunderland.
Yeah, it's on a channel called Scorio, Sgorio.
Oh, yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, got it. I'm on 24. Well, I'm behind. I'm on 24:30 something.
I'm on 24:36, which is ahead of my stream on the Sunderland website.
I don't think it is, like.
Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not.
It's behind.
Oh, well. Ignore me.
Swap over. Feel like a right idiot now. Might have missed a goal. I'm at 25.
We definitely haven't missed a goal.
So I'm now 10 seconds behind where I was before.
Oh, well. Apologies.
Yeah, I'll have to reset my clock for 10 seconds. God, I can't take you anywhere, James.
This is taking the Michael now how long this has gone on.
I mean, if it was us playing five-a-side, though, we'd be desperate.
That annoys me as well when people start having drinks at five-a-side. It's a 60-minute game. Oh, God, yeah.
What, so you're
But then
playing...
again, what doesn't annoy me in five-a-side?
I was going to say, what annoys you at five-a-side is me and you playing absolutely awful at five-a-side, I think.
Well, we had both had stinkers last week, didn't we?
Yeah, we're back, though. The game is back off.
Yeah.
Renildo with the throw. I tell you what, like, James, we could do with some action here. We could do with some goal-mouth action or something.
Yeah. It's like that Roy Keane thing where he just wants somebody to smash into somebody just for something to happen.
just to make himself feel better.
I mean, Ballard has it at the back and he's just standing there, gives it to 09.
I think you're now ahead of me.
Oh, am I?
I'm on 26, 38, 39.
Oh, I'm about 5 seconds in front of you.
I was ahead of you before, so that's really irritating.
That is weird.
Conned me. That's all you've done.
It wasn't my intention. There's a foul being given in the middle. Siddiqui was fouled by Kadamirtri or whatever he's called.
Kadamirtri,
I think. Kadamirtri, that's it.
Yeah.
The game's that bad that George has just burst into tears.
Well, we're building a bit of an attack here. Diarra's played it down the wing. We've got Trey Hume over to the wing. To Mukiele. Big Naughty. To Trey Hume. We're just playing it around.
I quite like this on the right-hand side by Sunderland, actually. I think Diarra has looked tidy. Mukiele is obviously a threat, isn't he?
Yeah.
And Hume's been decent, in fairness.
Without
having
penetrated
much. No. It is, yeah. That was going to be my point. That it's gone all the way back to Luke O'Neill and Robin Roofs here from the right hand side of Sunderland's attack. So.
Yeah. Sideways and backwards, but then again, in pre-season, does it need to be much more than sideways and backwards? Kirky Boy says now he's behind us. I don't think. I feel like if you were watch. I don't know, Kirky Boy. I don't know what to say. We have reset because James thought that YouTube was ahead when it was actually about 40 seconds behind. Because he's an idiot. James, there's a question from Charles who says, what position will your son play? What do you see him as?
Oh, he's At the moment, he's like a bruising centre back because he just
You
keeps
reckon?
banging his head. He keeps banging his head on everything. So he's always in the walls, constantly just doing baby stuff. So yeah, but hopefully he develops into a nice number 10.
Oh, you reckon that's your ideal?
I actually need to get him. I need to get him the new shirt because he's one soon, and I need to get him a brick on Legends way as well. But I'm just holding off because everything's just so expensive.
Fair enough. Do you need to
Like
get him
that's
a brick? Is that like a need?
I would love, yeah, just to have a brick on Legends because we don't have stones in the stadium or anything like that. I missed all that when I was a kid,
Oh, I've got a brick.
so I don't have a brick. So I would like, but that's like, if I get a new shirt, he gets a new shirt, and we get stones on Legends Way. It's like a bloody 300 quid day. Like
Yeah,
so it's really tough.
that's fair enough. Ballard wicks one upfield, but it's gonna be. Oh,
Hume
is it
does well
gonna
there
be?
to put
Yeah,
a
I
bit
was
of
gonna say,
pressure on.
good press. Fired back
Ballard
up the
wins
line.
it back. Siddiqui's good, isn't he, on the ball?
Yeah, he needs to add a bit of
That's a
attack
nice
into his
little,
play. But nice
little give and go and rig.
Yeah, nice little dribble inside.
They get the ball well here, to be fair. Oh, that's a good ball. Ooh,
Oh, that could have been a foul.
I thought, given how soft the referees have been, good ball though by Siddiqui. I'd like to see him do more of that. I think we've spoken about that before, haven't we? With, just buying a ticket to the lottery, playing it forward a little bit
Yeah.
more. And if he can add that to his game,
He needs to add in that. Like, I think you've got to be world class as a midfielder to get away without having much attacking input. You've got to be like, I mean, even N'Golo Kante scored the odd goal every season. But like, if you want to be,
that is a foul.
100% a foul. Like, I don't really understand how that's not.
Robbie can't believe it. He's absolutely fuming.
He's incensed.
That's what I like about Robbie, though, is that you can't really tell that it's a pre-season game when you're watching Brian Robbie, can you? Because he's just doing Brian Robbie things. Like everybody else is just like knocking it about, going through the motions. Brian Robbie is like on. He's just got no different way of playing. He can only play one way.
Oh, absolutely. Still playing it around the back four here. A lot of this.
I would say, ooh, that's another foul. Yeah, Robbie wins a foul. I would say, and a yellow card, I think, coming. Is it? Yeah, yellow card.
Well, who'd thought? Is that the first yellow card we've seen in pre-season?
Possibly. I would say since the hydration break, Sunderland have been fairly dominant, Connor.
He has. They have. I think that, to be fair, it's like the Leeds game, though. The Leeds game, I thought they were kind of always in control. They gave away the stupid goal, but they were always kind of in control. Just they look all right in possession without creating much.
Yeah. So yellow card for Dominic Hyam.
Former Blackburn player, I think. Is that right?
Danny Bath and Alex Neil reunited at Millwall.
I saw that today. I mean, Danny Bath, considering he was finished when we let him go, he's doing pretty well there.
I really like him as a player,
Yeah, we should never have got rid of him.
Yeah, we struggled a bit after that, didn't we?
Made no sense whatsoever. Anyway, free kick on the edge. Well, edge-ish. Probably about, 25, 30 yards? And not in a shooting position, I would guess.
Riggs been on everything so far, hasn't
he? Yeah. Is it a shooting position?
I mean, it's a shooting position if you're like, I don't know, Messi.
Yeah, that's true. Not Ronaldo, though. He never scores them anymore.
No. Oh, it's Hume, actually.
Yeah. Whips it in. Headed out.
Comes back out. Rig gets... Ooh. Just drops over the bar. Bit wasteful, really, Connor, you would say.
Yeah, you want to try and hit a man in the middle, don't you? I don't think he was aiming for goal there. He's just overhit it, but kind of blaming too much. What do you make of the pink kit?
I don't mind it. It's not something I'll buy myself, but I can appreciate the thought behind it. I don't think it's horrible or anything. I know a lot of people who would just like washed the hands of it and said that it's disgusting. It's not like 100% my cup of tea, but I don't mind it at all.
I think we've just
it doesn't offend me. It doesn't offend me at all.
No, it doesn't offend us. But anyone who's offended
the past
by
two
a
away
football kit.
The past two away kits have been... Oh, Sunderland 1-0 up.
Oh, excellent. That big naughty.
You will see. I believe, yes, big naughty Mukwela. That was a decent move, that.
Yeah, it was good. Brobby holding it up. Playing it off. Naughty getting forward. And the good thing with that one is that I suppose it shows the advantage of having Trey Hume on the right wing because Nordy's able to get that far forward.
Yeah.
There's
And he is exceptional going forward.
Yeah. I think Nordy will probably think playing in Europe this season he could get maybe 3 or 4 goals. What did he get last year?
Nordy gives it to Hume to Bromley. It's a really, really good move, actually.
Yeah. No, it is. Bromley just being an absolute man mountain. I think Dominic Hyam's just never had a more difficult pre-season game in his life. Keeper should do better, to be fair. Like, it's went right through his legs. Yes, lots of people excited in the chat. Nordy got 3 goals last season. Oh yeah, he scored against Wolves as well. Tottenham, Wolves. Oh, Wolves twice. He scored against Wolves twice. I think that's a deserved goal. Oh yeah, you've got to be ahead of the curve. Get those likes in, James.
I think after the hydration break, it's definitely been deserved, 100%.
Yeah, I wonder. Do you think they'll give this team 60 minutes, or do you think it'll be maybe a couple off at half time?
It's a weird one, isn't it? I don't know.
Because he played Brobby, 37 or something, wasn't it? It was a bit random.
Yeah.
So, like, I presume he'll give him the half time. Maybe the World Cup players will come off at half time.
But it was good to see him start again today, just because when you bring somebody off after 37 minutes, everyone gets worried, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, I need to update the score. There we are. 1-0 Sunderland.
Well, I need to do half-time graphics, actually. I completely forgot about
it. Sunderland got the ball in the midfield, played back to Big Dan Ballard, who plays a lovely crossfield ball to Ronaldo. Ronaldo inside to Diarra, but Diarra loses it. And Wrexham on a bit of a break, but Sunderland win it back. Romain Mundle. Oh, Romain Mundle's just hit the pass just like a little bit too hard and a little bit in front of Chris Rigg, which is very annoying because it would have been a nice little attack. George getting his two cents in on this one. No longer crying though.
He's very excited. He's just about to have some food.
That's fair enough, mate. I'm the same. Wrexham building down the left. Ball goes into the area. A big Kiefer Moore, but Ronaldo is there. And Sunderland defend it. Be nice to get one over Phil Parkinson. Don't think Phil Parkinson would get a free pint in Sunderland.
No.
Oh,
Bless
and
him.
Wrexham have scored. It's offside.
It's offside. Kiefer Moore. It was nearly a redemption story for Kiefer Moore there.
Well, he missed, and then it came back out. It was Broadhead.
Oh,
was there any redemption for Broadhead? Let's see. Was it offside? There's no VAR. Ball goes in. Yeah, he's offside. It's about a good yard offside.
Good finish. Good turn and finish. I liked Broadhead when he played for us.
Oh, it must be the biggest regret of his life that he made the decision to go to Wigan and not Sunderland.
Wigan, I know. That was a strange one as well. Because if you remember, he went there on loan and signed a new contract at Everton, which he didn't really need to do.
But didn't we try and buy him permanently, and he chose to go to Wigan instead?
We were very, very close to signing him. Very, very close. I remember because I had some info at the time that we were very close to signing him, which we were, but that he pivoted towards Wigan.
Because he didn't want to move away, did he? Is that what it was?
Something like that, yeah. And I think there was something at the time about the level of competition, because obviously Roscoe was banging form, wasn't he?
Sims.
We ended up with Sims, yeah. So I think he wanted to be the main guy, because that was the big criticism of him by Sunderland fans, was like, you can't just be a guaranteed starter, you've got to come and fight for your place.
Yeah. Well, he also had quite a few injuries, didn't he, the previous year?
He did. What I will say is that without Nathan Broden, I don't think we'd get promoted from League One, because he scored some very, very important.
He scored a last-minute winner against Shrewsbury.
Was the one against Oxford or something as well? Or am I misremembering that?
But I don't remember Oxford. I remember he scored against Arsenal.
It's all a blur. Oh, under Johnson.
Yeah.
Really good goal, that, actually.
Ballard whips one up the wing, and Robbie will chase it and hold off Hyam. Pin him.
Sunderland's best player so far, I would say, Brian Robbie.
Yeah, I'd probably agree.
Like Miquela's been good and got the goal as well.
Bromley, though, has been really, really impressive, which is really good to see because if you remember when he came in last summer, he was so
He's
like
way
off the pace. Whereas you can see already he's doing the things that he started doing sort of November, December, where he's pinning the defender. No Me No News says thoughts on Tommy Watson to Leicester on loan. Hope he smashes it. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, that, because I covered Tommy Watson's story when he left for Brighton, and he was actually given fairly strong assurances that he would be in and around the first team, and he was. But then he had the odd injury, and he went to Millwall, and I think January loan moves are really, really difficult, and I think we saw that with Tommy Watson at Millwall. So when I actually spoke to his camp this summer, just for a little bit of an update, they were like, he needs to play every game. So I think actually the Leicester move makes a lot of sense because he needs to play. He'll play every game in League One, hopefully. Leicester are a big club, demanding fans. So I hope he does go and smash it. But I think, and he may, his career has stalled a little bit, and he may turn it back around. I think he's got the talent to do so. But was leaving Sunderland really the right decision? I understand why he did it at the time, just because Sunderland's Premier League status wasn't guaranteed.
That was unreal from Chris Rigg, by the way.
Oh, that was a very nice turn.
Yeah. Am I ahead of you now?
Slightly, yeah. I keep having to refresh mine, but I am going to go to the iPlayer at half-time because apparently it's on there.
Oh, okay.
I've just had a text.
It's just had a text.
The Tommy Watson deal as well, just to go off on a tangent, like that £10 million in terms of the finances and the financial rules was really important because that's pure account and profit.
I think there's probably merit in us doing a video talking about what would have happened if we didn't get promoted in terms of that summer and how
we did discuss doing this before, didn't we?
How
you would have had Joe gone, Neil would have gone, Patterson would have gone. Probably would have had Office for you.
Siddiqui's running down the left wing and he's in 1-on-1 and he's fired it and it's somehow not ended up in a shot on target, but Rigg's got it on the edge.
Decent block though.
Yeah, Hume's now got it. Plays it to Rigg on the edge of the area. Rigg plays it across to Ronaldo, who now gives it to Mundle. This is where I need to see Mundle do some like good stuff there, like, you know, have a go at the defender. Because I mean, this might be like, you know, the last chance. Because you think all the players will be coming back from the World Cup, you might not get a chance to play another 60 minutes in pre-season.
That's what I mean. He's got to do something really.
Oh, I thought it was a foul there on Mundle. I think there's definitely been a bit of a gulf of quality between these two teams. I was actually expecting Wrexham to probably be the better side just because they're a bit ahead in pre-season, but I think we've looked the better team quite considerably.
Yeah, I would say we have. I think we've been better. They haven't created much in the way of clear goal scoring opportunities, have they?
No.
What's my password? Oh, dear me.
I mean, I wouldn't say it out loud.
No, I won't.
We definitely should have a free kick in that as well. I can see people in the comments. Who scored the goal? It was Nordy Mukiele. That's who scored for Sunderland.
I'm enjoying Rigg in the middle here as well. I think he's knitting things together quite well.
Yeah. He's got the ball again here. He's played it out to Mundle. Mundle slows it down again. I'm wanting like a bit more penetration.
What timestamp are you on now?
42:20.
Oh God, I'm on 41:48. I'm going to refresh it. I'm refreshed. I'm 42:06 now.
Well, you're still miles behind. I'm 42:36, 37.
Christ.
Somebody's asked, was it a good goal? Yes, it was. We had I think it was Hume into Rigg Nordy into Rigg into Hume into Brobby, and then Brobby held off the defender and played it back to Mukiele, who fired it through the keeper's legs. Yeah, it was a really, really tidy goal for Sunderland in the game. Kiefer Moore's won a header, but it's ended up back at Robin Roofs, who's had nothing to do. What sort of pre-season outing is this for a goal? I often wonder this with goalkeepers. Like, do they actually get much from pre-season? Because, like, they're not...
It must help you get your iron, surely.
Or do you think just getting used to being on the pitch in that environment? Because, like, Roofs has had nothing to do with this game.
It's concentration, though, isn't he? So, like, he knows he's got to be on it in case something does happen. And I guess that's quite a hard skill, really, to concentrate for 100 minutes or whatever it is.
Oh, I'd be watching the birds and all sorts, me. Ballard, Siddiqui, Sunderland with saved possession in their own half. And
George is currently eating his dinner while smiling at me, which is really funny and off-putting.
good press from Sunderland. Mundell's got it on the wing. He's cutting in, and there's an offside flag. That's a shame. SJ30,000 says Wrexham will think they're a Premier League side in the second half because we'll put all the kids on and make them look good. Yeah, that kind of happened against Liverpool, didn't it? Because wasn't there like a Liverpool pundit who was like, Liverpool were unbelievable against Sunderland's first team, and it's like, hang on, we've got as many players at the World Cup as you. Like,
yeah.
Oh, James, I think your microphone's died. Maybe.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. It sounds like it died for a second.
Well,
You're back. You're back. Anyway, go on. Liverpool.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say. I'm in between feeds at the moment trying to work out which one's the best, and it turns out none of them are very good.
Well, I mean, the SCFC Live has been the safest one for me.
Yeah, I think it's the SCFC Live one's the one that's ahead even with the BBC iPlayer, so I'm just going to stick with that one.
Yeah. There's 2 minutes added on at half time. Matty James taking a corner. I think he was kind of a Leicester City title winner, but I don't think he played. He whips it in, and it goes all the way to the back post, headed across, headed off the line. You must be up to speed then, are you?
I've just refreshed and it seems to have done the trick.
Yeah, shot from the edge, cleared away from Sunderland.
Cleared away by League. How hot is that? I'm guessing it's pretty hot. Like, it looks pretty humid and warm.
Yeah, it'll be warm. I mean, we had a hydration break, but I saw Bromley was absolutely sweating.
Yeah, he's lapped, isn't he? Decent block by Hume on the edge of the area.
Yeah, calling for a foul. Don't think it was. Wrexham, this is the first time Wrexham have had any real sustained pressure in the game.
What I will say about Mundell is I can see why Libreece likes him, because he does get back. And he does chase his man.
Defensive work a little bit, doesn't he?
He does. Decent catch by Robin Roofs.
Yeah.
Talking about humidity and heat as well, Robin Roofs in an undershirt, which is incredible.
Yeah, what's he thinking? What's he playing at?
What is he doing? He hasn't got the memo. That's definitely a foul on Rig as well.
Was George named after George McCartney? Somebody has asked.
No, although George McCartney did get a bloody nose in my first ever Sunderland game.
Did he?
But no, he was named after me granddad, actually. But I mean, George McCartney works as well.
Does it? I mean, he's a bit of a meh Sunderland player of 20 years.
Not in his first stint. In his first stint, his second stint, he wasn't the best, I don't think, because he went Sunderland, West Ham, West Ham, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he went back to West Ham in the end.
He's now at George Sam crying because he's been compared to George McCartney.
Half time. Sunderland.
Well, I think that was decent enough. Nothing really to be massively excited about.
Yeah, a good goal. I think I'm intrigued to see what happens at half time, because I want to know whether or not they're going to make a full raft of changes. I have a feeling that it'll be. Let's just look at the squad for the game, but I'm guessing that we'll probably see. I don't know if Roofs will just stay on because he's a goalkeeper, and I don't know if it's necessarily that big of an issue, but I think Diarra, Siddiqui, and Bromley will probably all come off at half time, is my guess.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then what would be Brown, Proctor coming on, and then Tuchierov coming on. I'm guessing they would be the three.
Possibly. We'll have to wait and see. I'm just typing away.
I was going to say, I'll just gas on and you can just listen and then chime in when you're done working, because it's your actual job. Let's jump in the comments. What do you guys think of half time so far in this game? It's been an alright game. Fred Holmes says, I've just checked on Liverpool at 8 at the World Cup to our 12 or 13 if you count Thomas Meunier. Jay says you've completely forgot about George Honeyman. That is true. Could it have been George Honeyman? SJ30,000, who reckons shaky Elborg will play in the second half? Oh, poor Elborg. Let's not pick on Elborg. He's just a young lad coming in. But yeah, I think Roos will probably stay on for the first 15-20 minutes maybe. The pro Wrexham commentators are apparently very annoying. Well, turn them off and listen to us. And you'll get to hear us rabbit on occasionally about the game on the field, but often about other stuff. The Wrexham fan says Sam Smith is way better than Moore up front. Paul, very decent first half. It has been. In the clock says why they definitely need to sign Pato. The keeper didn't appear to have a right hand. Yeah, the keeper did let in a stinking goal. Patterson maybe licking his lips at the idea that he might get that move because Okonkwo did let in a stinky one there. John Parr says Diarra and Mundle look miles off it, in my opinion. I think Diarra looked pretty good in the first half.
I thought Diarra did really well. I think that's really harsh. I don't think Mundle looked miles off it either. He was okay. I mean, in the attacking sense, he wasn't massively effective, but I didn't think he looked miles off it. Miles off it to me is like losing the ball every 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think miles off it is like just being, like looking like you shouldn't be on a pitch with other professional footballers.
No, I agree.
CJ2 says, just seen Phil image. Any outgoings to create space, including Bar and Brown? I don't know what image you're talking about. Has he tweeted something? I don't know.
Who, Phil? As in Phil?
I presume it's your Phil.
I haven't seen anything from him.
No, I haven't either. It's an old Sunderland lads reunion. It is. There is lots of them. Brett says seems to be a bit better and tidier today. Still not convinced on Mundle though. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying it's kind of the same about Mundle. Carl says meant to see Brobby getting support. He's got to be he's going to be an even more of a handful this season. I mean, I think with Brobby, the thing is having that pre-season behind him is going to be massive because he came in last year so unfit in terms of match sharpness. To have him raring to go from August is going to be unbelievable for us.
If I'm Habib Diarra, honestly, and I'm starting for Sunderland in the Premier League, I'm trying to get as close to Brobby as possible just for those little knockdowns because I think that's going to get success and protection. Yeah, I think he just causes that much chaos, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, I agree. Is Enzo there? Says being Laney, and Enzo has an injury, a knock, a minor.
Yeah,
knock.
I don't know if he's there. I presume he's there unless he's getting treatment somewhere. But I imagine he's there.
Susan says the temperature's 31 degrees Celsius, so it'll be warm. See a Sunderland fan taking his shirt off.
I was just about to say, yeah, he's just whipped it off, hasn't he?
Yeah. Spanner says, paid £8 for SCFC Live and it's hardly working. Anyone know of any other stream? So there is a stream on YouTube. There's iPlayer as well if you want to check that out. But the SCFC Live has been totally fine for me. I've had no issues with it so far.
Chelsea fan in the crowd?
Yeah, as they're everywhere. Chelsea. Somebody was telling me the other day, I don't know who it was, that outside of the quote-unquote Big Six, it's the Big Six, Leeds, Sunderland and Wrexham are like the most followed teams in America. I don't know how true that is, but somebody was telling us the other day that is the case because of the Netflix documentaries.
I wonder how you work that out.
I've got no idea. I presume, do you work it out from TV viewings over there? I'm wondering. But I would guess if I was an American who wasn't interested in football and I watched Sunderland until I die, and that's what got us into it. Because I've watched before NFL documentaries and stuff, even though I don't particularly watch it. It's a sport.
I actually think it's really interesting because Sunderland's USP, I think, and the main selling point is the authenticity and the realism around the club and the fan base. And I think for Americans and lovers of American sport who want a Premier League team where their sort of whole ecosystem is quite sanitized, I think that's what makes Sunderland like quite attractive, as it seems quite real. So the club actually have a little bit of a job on their hands, really, where you want to expand into these markets and stuff and bring in all of these international fans. I think that's great. Like, the more the merrier, but you do have to try and keep what makes the club great, if that makes sense as well, and not dilute it too much. But yeah, I think that's why Sunderland are quite popular in America. And I've got American friends who support Sunderland as well, like randomly from just seeing Fabio Barini, 10 years ago, and they just sort of fell in love with the attitude around the club.
It is funny though, because you can grow them sort of random attachments. I mean, I think it's for me. It's hard to imagine having like the same love of Sunderland if you've never been in the area, but people do.
Yeah,
People do like get that. They do get that feeling of like attachment because you watch the club enough, you get an idea of what the place is like. Obviously, I know loads of people who watch my channel, people who I see on the tours. People on the tours who are like, oh yeah, I picked Sunderland because of a reason. I played with them. There was a guy who was like, I played with them on FIFA in COVID because I
yeah,
googled who were the funnest teams, and Sunderland are obviously in League One at the time, and they were like the best rebuild, and the stadium was on the game, and he was like, so I was
yeah.
Sunderland, and I did like 10 seasons, and they just became my team.
I think as well, like if you just starting like to watch football this season or last season, and you're in America and stuff, but imagine if you'd watched the playoff semi-final second leg, or you watched the playoff final, or you watched some of the things that Sunderland did. So you might be an American and you might tune into Chelsea Sunderland at Stamford Bridge because you've heard Chelsea are a big team, and then you see that away end and the fans
Yeah.
and the unlikely. And I think it's stuff like that can be quite powerful, can't it? And I honestly,
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people sort of lament tourists and day trippers. I actually don't. I think it's really, really good. I don't think it should come at the expense of like your core support, especially with match tickets in the stadium. I think you need to service your local fans first. But I have absolutely no issue with somebody, starting to like Sunderland this season and then following them for the next 15, 20 years. We've got some great international fans. Martin Bates, the Canadian that comes over all the time,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like fantastic. Dawson and Madeline Pease as well, who are actually out in Nashville. They came to Sunderland for the Bournemouth game and the Fulham game away from home earlier this season, the Bournemouth game at home. And they're like, and it's quite special actually because, like, obviously we live in the area in and around Sunderland in the northeast, and I don't think we're down particularly on our area, but because you live there, sometimes you don't appreciate it. And they were just like, "This is the nicest place we've ever been in terms of how friendly everybody is." And they met me sort of by chance, but they met Stephen Goldsmith from Wise Men Say. Graham Falk went and said hello. Like they were able to feel like really embedded into the community quite quickly, and I don't think necessarily that every place or every football club in the world is like that. Whereas with Sunderland, we are really really nice people and quite accommodating as a fan base.
I think Sunderland as well is good if you are wanting to support a team from scratch because that I know they're not a sleeping giant in the sense they're in the Premier League now, but they're one of them clubs where that it's not beyond the realms of possibility they could achieve great things because of the size of the fan base and stuff and the
Yeah.
history of it. And if you were to say, and no disrespect, but just randomly look at Bournemouth in the Premier League, Bournemouth are like at that ceiling right now. You would say,
Yeah. But don't you think there's another part to it as well that I think sort of foreign fans or American fans they might be quite aware that it's a bit of a cliche in your football fandom to just be a Man United fan or a Chelsea fan or an
yeah,
Arsenal fan, whoever's winning the league. But if you've identified Sunderland in League One in their story, it sort of makes you a
yeah.
bit more like alternative, like, oh, you've actually given this some thought, so you might get a little bit more respect from people on the street when you tell them who your Premier League football
Yeah,
team
that's
is.
true. I remember when I lived in Atlanta, whenever, because they at the time were like, people would watch the Premier League, it was beginning to grow a little bit, but they all supported Liverpool. They all supported
Yeah,
and players. It was like players that liked Luis Suarez or, they
yeah, yeah.
watched, Cristiano
No,
Ronaldo. It's like, that's
I
weird.
lived I lived with a couple of Americans in my first year at Swansea University, Joel and Taylor, and we all went to the Fulham game in the FA Cup away where Ricky Alvarez scored his goal.
Yeah,
They all came to that, and they weren't massive like football fans. They didn't really have a football team that they supported, but like they were just blown away by the fans because as well, like every other person you were saying hello to and stuff like I think I bumped into like Mickey Luff and you just see loads of people from the area and you're introducing these lads to people and people are asking the story and stuff and they were just like, we've never seen anything as crazy as this. And Sunderland won the game as well, came from behind. I think they won 3-1 or 2-1. I can't quite remember.
yeah, Fulham were championship, weren't they?
Championship at the time, yeah. So that was actually an early sort of glimpse into just how powerful it can be because they genuinely, I know football's grown and they've got amazing fan culture across their sports, but it is very different, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is so different to what I mean, you get those side by side videos on YouTube where it's the chants from the MLS and then the chants, I
yeah,
believe that we will win and all of that cliched stuff. Like in England, it is just so authentic and at times a bit nasty as well, isn't it? Really, it's so tribal. I mean, if you're an American, like, have you seen anything in football that compares to like Sunderland, Newcastle? Probably not, because it's insane, and in the history of it as well goes back 150 years of the fixture or whatever it is now. It's crazy.
It is. We've got No Walk Virus says, I picked Sunderland for two reasons. Claudio Reyna, and I like the word Sunder. Fair play. Ranks
Nice.
says, I'm an American fan and I fell in love when Claudio Reyna moved to the club. Couldn't get enough, so researched the area and it seems so much like my home in the Rust Belt. So that's it's a good one that we've got there. Paul says, do either of you know if there is a Sunderland Till I Die Rise story in the making? Shame if not. And the people who made Sunderland Till I Die said that they would make one if they ever got in the Champions League.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility. We're as close as we've ever been for a long time.
I think when he said that, he was just like, if they get the Champions League as in, that'll never happen. But there we are. Wrexham would still be in the Vanarama if it wasn't for Sunderland Till I Die, and Matt Gilhenny happened to watch it. Yeah, it's funny that. I suppose the history of the two clubs
sliding doors,
yeah, it is very, very linked. I got to shout the sponsors, James. We've got Serenity Cars. Let's shout them out. If you want to buy a car or you want to sell a car, check out Serenity Cars, based in the Northeast. Links in the description. Also, Stephen Baker Photography. If you've got a wedding, James, are you getting married anytime soon?
No, but
Engaged?
Stephen is a good five-a-side player, so that makes a difference.
Yeah. Engaged? Are you engaged?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
No plans to get married just because of the expense of it, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Got a Europa League campaign to fund yourself.
An empty engagement.
Yeah, that's it.
An empty engagement. Fair enough. And I have a video that I'm going to put in the comments here because Paul Messner. Do you know Paul Messner? He's a YouTuber, James.
I'm not familiar with him, but I will check out his work.
He's a camping YouTuber, but he's a big Sunderland fan.
I do like a bit of camping YouTube,
I do as
like
well. To be fair,
was it the outdoor boys?
Yeah.
They're the best.
Well, he doesn't do it anymore though. I think his kids do.
But his eldest, well, they all look like it, but his eldest kid looks like ridiculously like him. He's got the same mannerisms.
Yeah,
it may as well just be him.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. But anyway, Paul put something on his socials, but Ron Havelock, who watches this channel, he's probably watching the stream right now, he sent us a message to promote this, so I thought I would. So Paul says, hey up, I'd like to introduce you to my nephew Jack Messner. Not only is he getting into camping, he's also trying to raise some money for the Bradley Larry Foundation. We're running a little raffle to win a new MSR Switch stove, with all proceeds going to the fundraiser. If you want to find out more, there's a link. So I'm going to put the link to the Facebook post in the chat if you want to check this out. There is the
good
link
deed
to the
done for the day,
page.
Connor. Bravo to you, a man of the people.
And then I have put in as well the raffle, so you can, if you want to just check out the raffle, that is in there. So Ron, who watches the channel, I said I would promote that, and there we are. It's a good cause, so check it out. I think we're recording in person this week, aren't we? As well, maybe.
Oh, we are. Oh, we've got some players out here.
It looks like everyone's coming back. Sadiqi's on. So we're going to get now.
How is the stream doing numbers wise, Connor?
We currently have 255 people watching.
That's pretty good.
Yes. SJ30,000 says, buy a car from Serenity Cars. Yes, absolutely. Please do. I'm sure Jay will be thrilled if you do. Floybox says, Ajax fan here who wants to keep following Bromley in the Premier League.
Nice.
So there we go.
Nice.
Rank says, I'm a local to Green Bay, and the closest is Green Bay Chicago Bears. We talk about the rivalry. Air Eyes says, I'm a Mac in America. My wife, who never followed football until 5 years ago, and decided to support Spurs purely because she liked the kit and badge. A lot of people do that. They just see the kit. Why not? It's as good a reason as any.
It would be a really interesting video to make, actually, like why foreign fans have picked Sunderland. Because the Claudio Reyna thing is such an obvious thing, but I've just never considered it.
Yeah.
Because he was a big player in America at the time that he played for Sunderland. Probably their best footballer at the time.
Absolutely.
So it's interesting, actually. And just as well, like how long some of these fans, because when I met Dawson and Madeline, they were sort of similar age to us, and I just assumed that they'd come along from Sunderland till I died. And he was like, no, like I've been watching for 15 years.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It is crazy.
We are nearly heading towards kickoff. Let's see where else. Yeah, Rob, we did talk about Ryan Reynolds trying to buy Hartlepool, so we did talk about that one. Red the Goblin says, I'm a local, but what I like about supporting Sunderland is we are so crap. Every game matters. We always have something to shout about, and the hard times make the good times better. They absolutely do.
We have here Anguilo and Sealt coming on.
Okay, so let's see do we know what the changes are? Who for?
I did see a number, but I've forgotten. Hang on. Oh, George Dobson's on at half-time.
Big George Dobson. What were your views on George Dobson? I know Graham, our friend, loved George Dobson, but I had no...
Absolutely terrible.
He's done well for himself,
Graham,
though.
He has done well for himself. Graham picked George Dobson as his player to back at the time because we had a weird phase at Sunderland, if you remember, where like people would just pick a player to absolutely love for no reason. Like a couple of people picked Max Power, didn't they? And then when Danny Graham came back, everybody was a Danny Graham enthusiast. So Graham picked George Dobson and nailed his colours to the mast, and it didn't really work out. Bless him.
Yeah, we are off, by the way. We're 7 seconds in the second half.
So was Anguilo for Mundle?
Yeah.
I think.
Anguilo
Sealt
for
for Ballard.
And Sealt for Ballard are the two substitutions. So there we go.
Lovely stuff.
Hopefully they're just precautionary substitutions. And Habib Diarra giving away what would probably be a yellow card in the Premier League.
What do you think about...
Yeah. Sorry, I'll just answer
what
this
do you
one
think
and then we'll talk about this.
Oh, go on,
he says, Connor will be flying over for the game from Cambodia this season at some point for a game. My wife wants to know if you're free to do a ground tour. Yeah, if you email me when you're coming over, then I'll figure out a time to be on the tour. As long as I'm around, it should be fine to work that out. Anyway, James, what were you saying?
Sealt, what do you make of his sort of prospects, chances?
I think
Sunderland.
I think probably he's just in the same boat as players like Mundle. Because he's foreign based as well, I don't think that'll help him. So, look, until we figure out the other centre back, he probably does have a place. But I think it'll be a bit like last season where he goes at the end of the window. Whether or not that's a permanent or not, I'm not sure. But I think he could probably do with a permanent home.
I actually think as well we can probably sell him for a profit on what we paid for him, because I don't think we paid a lot for him.
It's 2 mil, something like that.
Yeah, I think you could easily get that from him and a bit more. I think he's got experience playing in 2 top European leagues now, hasn't he? I know not massively regularly due to his injury problems, but he's played the Premier League, he's played the Bundesliga. So there is a player there. It's just his injuries, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Spanner says, I'm from Barnard Castle, but brought both my boys up down in Gloucestershire. They're 21 and 18 years old now, and just as passionate about Sunderland as the rest of the family who lived in the area. Excellent. Yeah, I
was in Barney Castle over the weekend. Lovely place.
Castle?
Absolutely one of my favourite places in the universe.
Yeah. Wise Guy Maguire says, is the Spurs Brobby thing true? I've not even seen that, but no, I would say it's probably not true.
Depends who said it. If it's team talk, probably not.
He's still on the pitch right now, so I suspect he probably isn't in space. Ian Banks says, so have you watched Where Eagles Dare yet? Yes, I have watched it, and I'm going to let you all know when Taff is back. I'm going to give Taff a full review of Where Eagles Dare, in my opinion. So I'm not going to share anything else about it until then. How much for Sealt? How much money would you get? Jay says 15 million. That feels high to me. I think you maybe get 8.
I reckon he could get about 8.
Yeah.
He's got potential. He's only young as well, and he can play right back. But his big question is the injuries, isn't it? Yeah, the big question is the injuries.
We're 3 minutes into the second half, and not much is happening.
We're doing the thing with the ball at the back again, aren't we?
Yeah, we do. We are doing the thing with the ball at the back.
Sadiqi's got it in the middle. Nice little ball to Rig.
Yeah.
Rig's been great, to be fair. That's another decent touch.
Yeah, he's played a
nice little ball through.
Yeah, that was a nice ball. Diarra. We must be exactly in sync now, James, which is lovely.
Nice, yeah. Hopefully nothing goes wrong now.
No, fingers crossed. I thought Angulo looked good when he came on the other day.
Yeah, I like him. He's a good player. I think it's difficult, as I mentioned earlier, when you come in January to really hit the ground running, especially new league, new country. So, he's got a real chance now to. I mean, it's him up against Talby, isn't it? Really, for that left wing spot.
Robbie's got it in the box.
Robbie.
Oh, it's just. He's just let it go, but they did so well to get it in that position. The thing is, though, is that's what these games are about, isn't it? The sharpness of that. You would hope that in 2 weeks, 3 weeks' time,
Oh
when
yeah,
we're
100%.
playing, Brobby's going to be fully on that there, and
I think in a couple of weeks' time he tries to do a different thing there. I think he's trying to shuffle the ball out of his feet. I think in a couple of weeks' time he's backing in, trying to look for some sort of foul or trying to turn the defender.
yeah. Douglas says, "I'm from Hebben. Used to live in Hebben, but have been living overseas since 1979, in the USA since 1991, listen to loads of pods and content daily, and couldn't feel more engaged than if I drank in sheepfolds." Excellent, Douglas,
Nice.
mate.
Nice.
I'm glad we can be of service to you. Ball gets played up, it's headed out. Sunderland have got the ball on the edge, though. I think it's been played into Rig, who
Good ball that by
foot.
Sadiq. He's played a
Yeah.
couple of good passes today. Oh,
and
Anguilo.
Anguilo.
Anguilo's nicked it.
Oh
Ooh, did that clip the top of the bar?
no! I clipped the stanchion at the back.
Did it?
He did well though to win it, but I think he snatched
Yeah,
it.
it's a good chance. Let's have a look.
Dobson, is it him who's given it away? Yeah, it's Dobson that's given it away.
Yeah.
And then
Should give it a Bobby,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Bobby or Rig, both are in with a decent chance. But I don't necessarily mind the selfishness from a forward player.
No, I mean it's a great opportunity. He's just snatched at the finish a little bit, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But I think if that's in the Premier League, you really need to square it to Bobby. But positive that by Anguilo, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
I like his hair. His hair is definitely a plus point.
Just because I've got none. Comment on hairs. I actually think being bald is not really as much of a curse as people think.
Do you have to? Is it hard to maintain? How often do you have to? Because I have to go for a haircut every 2 weeks, otherwise I look homeless.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I should probably cut my hair about once a week, but I'm a bit lazy. But fundamentally, I've bought... Oh, there's a ball coming in the box, by the way. Headed out from 09, and it's still in the area. Bounced out of the shop. But... Oh, this is danger.
Ooh,
which is really
wide
goal.
of the post.
Number 13, I don't know who that is.
Sunderland appealing for a foul.
Could have been a goal there.
Yeah, little bit uncertain there, you would say, Sunderland's defence.
Yeah, it wasn't well dealt with, was it?
Bit of a mismatch. Siddiqui was up against Kiefer Moore. There was only going to be one winner.
A bit all over the shop there. Not knowing whether or not to put his foot in or not.
I think the header's absolutely... Yeah, the header by Ronaldo is where the problem starts, isn't it?
It's the first header in the box, I think. It's when the ball first comes in, the headers are good enough. What were we talking about? Oh, hair. Yeah, I've just bought shears, so the wife just cuts my hair whenever I ask.
Nice.
And then I just do the beard myself, which, again, I should do more often, but I'm lazy. It's not like I've got my face, though, to be on YouTube and stuff, so there's no need to maintain my looks. Handball. Yes, the handball. Free kick. Arise says, and I'll just have to quickly reload my back office here. Do you think Anguilo could do a job on the right wing if we don't get anyone in during this window?
I just think he's better on the left, isn't he? I think I would be disappointed if that happened, just because, as Connor eloquently said earlier on in the show, we really need a right winger whose position it is to play there. We need a specialist in that position, don't we? Wow, George. I think that's just so important going forward.
It's fuming.
Well,
we've got a
Jensen Jones has come on for Nordi Mukwele.
Yeah. Which makes sense. There we are, James, on the mute there. Makes sense. Europa Cup draw will be very surreal. Can't wait. I'm looking forward to that as well. Charles says, can we draw Milan? That would be lovely. We've got to play AC Milan away. Not only that, AC Milan away is one of the away games where we should get a massive allocation, which means that everyone who can afford to can be able to see Sunderland play in Europe. That is the main reason I want to play AC Milan, because they normally give English fans like 10,000 people. Because for AC Milan... no disrespect to Sunderland, but playing Sunderland in the Europa League is not particularly interesting for them. I imagine it's probably one of them, like us playing in League One against Oxford, where you're a bit like, it's a big deal for Oxford, but it's not a big deal for AC Milan. That's probably how they'll feel. James, you're still muted. I don't know if you know that you're still muted, but you are still muted, unless there's still noise going on in the background.
No, there was a bit of noise, but it's died off a bit. But yeah, I think it would just be class, like having... 6,000 people in 6,000 Mackems in Milan for an adventure. It would be lovely.
Mukiele is limping apparently. I didn't actually see him come off because I was busy checking the chat. Well, I saw him come off, but I didn't see him limp off. So that would not be
I will
great.
ask Twitter.
SJ30,000 says, when is Mukiele not injured? I'd say probably most of last season. He had like one injury, didn't he? Last season. Although he often looked like he was injured.
He had a hand injury for a lot of the season, didn't he?
I couldn't throw the ball, could he? But nothing to really take him out of the team other than he missed like the Newcastle game, didn't he?
Yeah, well, who didn't miss the Newcastle game? Sunderland have a corner.
Yes, they do. Trey Hugh. Looks like he's going to take it.
I'm not having George Dobson's hair lag.
You're not having it? Why?
I don't know. I just don't think it suits him. I think he's that good enough a player to have hair like that.
Ball comes in, headed out.
He just headed away though. Fair play.
I think it must be annoying having that sort of hair because it seems it's just like doing this all the time, it's bouncing around on his head.
Gets in the way.
Yeah. I saw him play at, I was covering Harrogate playing against Wrexham in the FA Cup a few years ago for work, and Harrogate won, and he was absolutely terrible in that game.
Was he?
Absolutely awful. And I was like, I just don't understand. Why is he still getting minutes?
Well, I think he's had a decent time with it at Wrexham generally, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been with them. I think he signed for them when they were in League. Did he sign for them in League 2?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, so like he's got the championship. And I mean, I never had him as a championship player, but played championship football. What's the changes for the second half, Connor? Okay, we've had Mukiele come off for Jensen Jones, but that came. It's a foul.
54 minutes. That came.
Yeah. We've also had Angulo come on for Mundell, and we had Ballard go off, and Sealt came on. They are the changes. Who scored for Sunderland? It was Nordy, Mukiele, and yeah, that's about that. George Dobson with the yellow, with his hair.
Deserved. He deserved that.
Etienne says, random question for the chat. Does any of you know of a vintage bicycle brand from Sunderland? I have a project to make myself a red and white vintage bike. Well, I've read your comment out, Etienne, but I do not know of that. So there you are. James on the wine gums.
Got to do something to get through this game.
Yeah, you got 35 minutes left. Are you not having like tea soon? Is it not a bit like weird to have wine gums at this time?
Well, yeah, a little bit earlier, just because I knew we were doing this, and I get hungry quite early, so
yeah,
I ate before the stream.
See, if I ate at like 4 o'clock, I would just be eating again at 9 o'clock.
But I will most likely be in bed by that time, just because having a baby, he does tend to get up very early.
That's fair enough.
Like last night, for instance, Louise was out, so I looked after George, but I sort of waited up until she got in because she was bringing food. So I went to sleep at like 12:30, and I actually felt I was that tired this morning. I actually felt hungover. Yeah, I felt like I'd had 9 pints or something, which obviously I hadn't.
Yeah, it happened to me when I did the watch along for this game on Thursday over into Friday.
Oh, that was brutal. That as well, to be honest, like getting up for that.
But I can't just you can't just do a watch along where you've been talking for 2.5 hours and then just go to sleep. So I didn't end up going to sleep until about 3, and then I had to be up at like, I don't know, 7:30 or something to walk the dog. So I got like 4.5 hours sleep. And I know people in here would be like, oh, cries a river. I do less sleep, but
I've had that so many times because I did a lot of games away from home in the Championship promotion season, but where we'd gone somewhere and got a result, and I'm just lying in a travel lodge or a Premier Inn, just unable to sleep, just because you're on like an adrenaline dump. Yeah, my stream has stopped. I'm going to have to refresh.
Well, Sunderland have just won the ball. Trey Hume on the right side, and he's driving with it. He plays it over to Ronaldo, and I suspect that in the next couple of minutes we'll probably see a lot of the changes that we're expecting, but Ronaldo has it back into Trey Hume, who does a lovely dummy to Habib Diarra, who plays it to Siddiqui. And Siddiqui over to Jones. And Sunderland now are letting Wrexham get in that low block. Siddiqui, though, with a bit of clever play. Yeah. Oh, nearly a goal.
Trey Hume with the chance.
James has got ahead of us. He's been behind us, and now he's ahead.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword because it stops and I miss a couple of seconds, but then when I refresh, I seem to be. But the Sunderland website doesn't seem to be very good. Like the YouTube doesn't stick, but the Sunderland website does. But the YouTube's miles behind.
Yeah, the YouTube probably is. The YouTube probably be about 20 seconds or something because it's going live from us to everyone else. Right.
Corner.
Yeah, corner.
Good catch, to be fair, by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it is a good catch. Ground's quite busy. I think I said before,
Yeah,
I was really shocked how quiet it was with the Leeds game.
We are scraping the bottom of the barrel because the bottom of the barrel, because this in the second half hasn't been that exciting, has it really?
No, it has not. It has not been massively riveting stuff. Do you know what, pre-season though, it's always like this. Although yesterday I went and watched Blythe play Hebben, and that was 4-2. That was a decent game.
Was it at Blythe or at Hebben? I love Heben's ground. It
was at Blythe, but I do like Heben's ground. They're in the National League North now.
Their promotion last season is honestly one of the maddest stories ever because they should never have been promoted.
Why?
Just because of the resources.
The budgets.
It's like a Leicester City style story. Yeah. It's absolutely insane. I must say, I love going to Hebben Town. What a really, really nice football club. Really well run, really friendly. The manager Daniel Moo was great as well. Nice to speak to. I do like a big shout out to Hebben Town.
Have we not talked about before? I think that the under-21s in the ladies team need to get out of Ebelton. I'm pretty adamant that holds back both parties quite significantly because it's just such a pain in the arse to get to.
It is a nightmare to get to.
When the ladies team played at Hebben about 5 or 6 years ago, there's loads of subs happening now.
So Tom Proctor, Tutierov.
Brobby's coming off. Diarra's coming off. I think it's going to be everyone, isn't it?
Leo Hjelder's coming off. Adingra's coming on. Alan Brown's coming on. Jack Whittaker's coming on. Trey Hume's coming off. Anthony Patterson's coming on.
That's random.
Chris Riggs coming off. Who's 59? I can't remember who 59 is. Is that Dinsdale, maybe? This is going to be one of those where I'm just going to have to refer to Sunderland's Twitter account. There's no way I can write all of these down.
I've seen 9 come on the board twice here, so that's interesting. We're taking Brobby off twice. But I think it's a complete wholesale change from Sunderland. I think they've changed the whole team.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to end up playing longer than 61 minutes.
It's interesting to see Patterson, and I do wonder, with him being linked with Wrexham, do you think it matters that they're all out there playing each other? Do you think that's a conversation that he's actually taking the captain's armband as well, Patterson?
That's strange, isn't it? Yeah.
I wonder if that because Sophie's out there, isn't he? No, but I wonder if them all being out there together, the Wrexham side and the Sunderland side, they'll sit down and have a more of a conversation than they would have had they been both somewhere else, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it is an interesting one. Yeah, do they do that? I mean, I think from Patterson's perspective, I think he needs to go play minutes, doesn't he?
He wants to leave permanently as well. He doesn't see much of a benefit in another loan move, and I agree with him. Because he's never going to play for Sunderland's first team unless they get relegated to the Championship, is he really now? I would suggest. Because they clearly don't see him as a Premier League goalkeeper.
No, they made the decision. It's interesting. I was having that argument with my brother the other day because he was saying that Alan Brown might have a part to play. And I was like, well, they made a decision last summer, though, that he wasn't good enough to play in the Premier League.
Do you think Anthony Patterson's better or worse than Elborg?
I think it's really hard because I've only seen Elborg play up 4 games.
I think Patterson's probably just about better, but I think he's probably in no man's land where he's he should be playing regularly because he's good enough too, but he's not necessarily good enough or Premier League proven, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think they're probably.
And Elborg, in terms of not in terms of his age, but in terms of his experience, is a lot further behind Patterson, so he's more comfortable being a number 2.
Yeah, I think Patterson just, I think fundamentally some people don't mind being a number 2 goalkeeper, but Patterson clearly values playing. more than
Yeah.
waiting around. Because you look at like Simon Moore, who spent a lot of his career as a number 2. He's just happy being a number 2 and thrives in that
Yeah.
role.
Yeah. He did.
Um,
Patterson did drop a clanger in the playoffs as well. Bless him. I felt for him.
he did, yeah. I remember that. Do you remember that
So the
clanger he
eight.
dropped against Hull at the Stadium of Light?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So the 8 changes were Brobby, Diarra, Hume, Riggs, Siddiqui, O'Nien, Rinaldo, and Roofs. On came Lightfoot, Tutiarov, Proctor, Whittaker, Hjelder, Brown, Adingra, and Patterson, who is now captain.
Oh, Seals just put a stinky tackle in on George Dobson. And Wrexham building Alan Brown cleaning it up, though. I will say that while I have given Alan Brown some stick and say I don't think he'll play for Sunderland, I actually think he's been pretty good in pre-season.
He's been tidy, hasn't he?
Yeah.
My argument is how does that translate to the Premier League, where, with all due respect, like the intensity of this game has been 50% of what you would expect.
But my thing is more that they made a decision on him last summer. So, like, he's 31. If they made a decision last summer he wasn't good enough, and then we finished 7th and we're in Europe, how is he suddenly good enough?
I think it's hard, though, as well, because, like, with respect, like, how many 31-year-olds who've played in the Championship all their life come up to the Premier League and have, like, a level of success? Like, not many, really.
Yeah.
Especially not in centre midfield. I like him. I think he's a good player, but he's played pretty much regularly all of his career, except when he had those injury issues at Sunderland. So I just think, like, he's a top-end Championship player. That's his level, and that's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Wrexham corner, whipped into the area at the back post. Oh, headed across goal. It's a foul.
Callum Doyle with a little chance.
Yeah, it's a foul, though.
That is a terrible tackle, by the way, from Seal on top.
It is. It's a yellow card, definitely. We've got a comment in from Paul who says some of our fans are too quick to criticise our young, inexperienced players. And do you know what? I would generally agree with that. I actually think, I don't know if you agree with this, James, but I think our academy players are held to a higher standard.
Possibly. Yeah, I think when the breakthrough, like, criticism over the years of Patterson, Dan Neil, even Elliot Embleton.
Dan Neil got loads.
Even Rigg got a little bit of it
Honeyman?
last season. I do think.
Honeyman? He got
Honeyman, Christ, yeah. I mean, Gooch as well was like, you know, I love Lyndon Gooch, but he was hammered. Henderson, people celebrated Jordan Henderson leaving the football club. Said we'd done well to get the money we got for him, which I always just felt was madness. There's some bizarre psychological trend. It annoyed me actually against Liverpool when Sunderland's kids started quite brightly, but then faded. But they were playing against Chase, Sobersley, Kirkers, and some other good Liverpool kids, and everyone just wrote them off and said, they're absolute rubbish. They're not Premier League ready, and it's like, well, yeah, of course they're not Premier League ready, but that is not the point of this exercise. This is good experience for them.
Yeah.
And they all develop. I mean, what you've got to remember about Sunderland's kids. I'll go through the list now as Wrexham attack. So take over, Connor, while I just have a think about this.
Yeah, Wrexham marauding down their right wing. Ball comes in, but Sealt does a nice little back heel. Clears it. Oh, God, there was an awful... I don't know who it actually was there, but somebody did an awful clearance.
What you've got to... saved by Patterson. What you've got to remember about a lot of Sunderland's under-21s players is that most of them, if not all, are playing above the age group. So I think Lightfoot is like 18, Tutiarov's 21, I think Proctor's 17, Jack Whittaker might be 20. Like Dinsdale is just turned 18, who has been involved in and around it. Garagousian's like 17, Treogan Sui's 19. But like Treogan Sui, you've heard that name for the past 3 years because that's how long he's been playing for the under-21s. So they do get judged quite harshly, but Sunderland as a football club push the youngsters into the next age group really, really early, and I think that's always a consideration.
We got a comment from SJ30,000 about when Xhaka comes back, so I'm guessing Sunderland will be flying back probably tomorrow from America, and I think they'll probably get a couple of days off, so my guess would be probably Wednesday. Unless he comes in a bit earlier. Maybe he comes in on Monday and starts doing some fitness stuff. But
I was going to say, you might see him back in training. I imagine the club will be documenting it when he does come back.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think that he'll do an interview or anything about everything that happened?
I don't think so. I think they'll just let it lie now. He sort of spoke about it.
Put a post on, didn't he, on Instagram the other day?
Yeah, he put a post on it and he touched on it with the Switzerland stuff, didn't he? So Regis has spoken about it. Honestly, I'm completely comfortable with it now. I really am.
Yeah, I'm the same. I want to see Granit Xhaka rocking and rolling in a Sunderland shirt again. He's one of my.
It feels like a bit of a fever dream, doesn't it? The whole saga.
Yeah.
Sunderland actually playing out really nicely from the back here.
Oh, nearly got caught, but yes. Alan Brown speeding away in the middle. They did really well there, didn't they, James?
They did play it out nicely.
The problem is it's this there. Do you know when they've got out the back and they've got through the press, and then
Yeah, they should have
they've
tried
got
to
a
find
chance.
Anguilo there, shouldn't they?
Yeah, they've got a chance to really break, and then they just slow it down and let Wrexham get back into position, and then it's rinse and repeat, pass it around the back four, like their back four.
Alan Brown with the ball over the top.
Yeah.
Finds Tutierov, I think.
Yes, it is. Is there an argument maybe Tuchierov could be is he the one of the first team options, you think, from the academy? It looks to me like the only one that's likely to be in and around the squad.
I just think the level of competition at left wing, though, it's going to be difficult for him. I think he's a good option. I think he could play cup games. I think he could be on the bench in Europe. I like him. But it's a bit like the Harrison Jones thing, you know. Like, does it really benefit him to be in and around it for too long? Does he need to go somewhere and play football?
That's true.
I mean, I was told he was going to leave the club this summer, and then there's been a bit of a U-turn.
Yeah, it's
So maybe
interesting.
I do see a bit of a future for him. Interestingly, though, they didn't disclose how long his new contract is. So is it a year? Is it 2 years? I imagine that. Like, have they just given him a year because he's got a bit of talent and they think he can help with the Europa League stuff, or is it a longer term deal where they actually see value in him and they think they could get a fee? I'm not sure. I do like him a lot. I just think the level of competition in the Premier League is ridiculous as we head for a hydration
I was
break.
going to say we've got a hydration break. No news.
The problem he has is that Sunderland have paid, like, by their standards, quite big money for left wingers. Like, Anguilo was like 17.5 or so. Was he 19 actually? And Talby was 17.5. Might have been getting that the wrong way.
They're all roughly about 20 million euros, though.
Yeah, that's the best part of 40 million pounds on left wingers. So, like, Sunderland are going to want to protect their value. So, can I see Lebris just throwing Tutierov in against Ipswich? Probably not.
No, I agree. No news says thanks for the stream, lads. Much appreciated. Connor, have a book coming out on Wednesday. Yes, the books are coming out on Wednesday. Yours will be posted on Wednesday as well if you've pre-ordered. Yeah, I think a lot of people seem to be in agreement on the comments. I mean, there's also a comment where is it SG30,000 says fans can say what they want, which is absolutely true. Fans can say what they want. They can criticise. That is the point. We all do that. But I do think for me, I think my bar for a criticism is quite high. You know, other than obviously you can criticize things that happen in the game, but like saying a player is not good enough or whatever, I think it's a high bar. Also, you see that massive ship in the background there?
That was a lovely little visual. Like, George is just having the time of his life here.
He's just screaming on. Must be bedtime soon for George, surely.
Yeah. When's bedtime, Mum? About 7, so not long. He's currently just going, mum.
Yeah, fair enough. It's funny, isn't it? As a child, you fight against going to bed, but as an adult,
oh yeah, absolutely.
I know, yeah,
absolutely love the dull nothingness of not having to think about anything.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's interesting the stuff with academy players because I do think that people are more critical of them, and I don't really understand it. And for me, I generally also at the match, I never really understand people get on the backs of players because I just sort of think, what does that achieve? Well, we're all going for the same goal. We all want Sunderland to win. So you shouting on at a player saying they're rubbish, how does that help?
Yeah. I think with the academy, and I don't mean this in a bad way, because obviously not everybody has the time, the energy, or the inclination to follow it really closely. But when you don't follow it really closely, I think there's a little bit of ignorance with it. Like, you know, you might see a Garagusian play for 20 minutes and you might go, well, he's massively off the pace, he's rubbish. And it's like, he's 18 though, 17, 18.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody's journey is very, very different. Everybody's development's very... I mean, just look at, like, everybody mentions the Jamie Vardy case in point and the good move for Sunderland. Oh, it's gone out. But, you know, you can develop a lot later on.
Yeah. Andy Reynolds, thank you for the super chat. He says, why has Alderete had an extended break? And I think they go quarter final. No, they go last
quarters,
16.
didn't they?
They beat Germany.
I'll Google it.
They knocked out Germany, but yeah, they went quite late. I don't think they got the quarters because the quarters was Switzerland. They got the last 16. But yeah, extended break. And I think he's also been nursing a bit of an injury as well.
Yeah, France beat them in the round of 16.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be why, I would imagine.
Right.
What thoughts on Adingra?
I really like
Played on the
Adingra.
right hand side as well.
I like Adingra. He also did some good defensive work there, which is nice to see. Although,
Do you think he could be an option? Lebris was like quite ambiguous about it, wasn't he?
Yeah, he said that like the door's not shut.
You think it's mad that they won 30 million for him though?
Yeah, I think that's mad. But if they're looking at the market, I mean, Sunderland haven't done much. Well, they haven't paid a fee yet for a player in this market. So, is it a case of they are being told all these high prices, and they're like, well, fundamentally, we've got Adingra there. If you think he's worth 30 million, then Adingra's worth that.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Because the market's a bit nuts this summer, and I think even seeing players like Trafford go for 40, rising to 50, I think is what Leeds are paying. That's a mad amount of money.
It is a mad amount of money, but that one I can sort of understand because, like, there's resale value with him, isn't there? And he could be Leeds' Jordan Pickford for the next 10 years.
No, he absolutely could, but I think if you look at Leeds have spent 40 on that Mihajlovic, they're going to spend 40 to 50 on Trafford.
That's the one I would point towards is Mihajlovic, because I mean it's like the reverse of Habib Diarra. They've had to pay over the odds to get him, haven't they? Because they really, really needed him.
Yeah. Debate here. Fan police on here. Let's have their fans have their opinions, just like you have yours. I don't think. I think people crack on with their opinions on the football, but I think you can also have an opinion on whether or not somebody's. I was
going to say we can all have opinions on opinions on opinions, so it's just an everlasting cycle of opinions.
We can. We absolutely can.
I honestly don't mind fans criticising players and young players and stuff like that. It's part of the game, and it does help harden them as well. I just always think that if you're going to comment, you just should have the context behind your opinion. That's always my argument. Don't just label Garagusian crap off a 20-minute performance. Know about his journey, know about his ability, all of that sort of stuff.
The thing is, about a lot of the players read all the social stuff. They do. It's very difficult in this day and age to avoid all that. Anyway, 100%. Building a nice attack here. Adingra
did well.
I think Adingra must be in a weird place though, because for him, he's made that move, and he probably thought he was going to be Sunderland's main man.
Yeah, 100%. Tom Proctor there doing really, really nice work.
He looks like a good player as well, doesn't he?
How old is he? He's sort of. He's I'll double check. I think he's 17. He's Sunderland's youngest pre-season.
Yeah, I thought he was. I thought because wasn't he playing for the 21s last year at 17.
Yeah, him and Marcus Neal are still very, very young. He is.
He's 17 apparently.
17, yeah, he is.
Is that a foul? Yes, a foul to Sunderland? Is it a foul to Wrexham? That's the problem with listening to it without comment.
Honestly, that was really impressive by Proctor there.
Yeah, see the replay back.
It's a bit of a weird one, this, isn't it? Because obviously Sunderland's team now is built up of quite a few kids in there, although there is a sprinkling of experience. But Wrexham have still got a fairly strong side out, and they haven't really done much, have they?
Yeah, I think Wrexham have been pretty poor, all things considered.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Been pretty underwhelming, if I'm being brutally honest, as to how Wrexham have done it. I thought Wrexham would be better than Sunderland because they're further ahead in that pre-season, and they beat Leeds the other day, and they scored. Do you see the goal that they scored against Leeds?
Yeah, it was decent.
Yeah, from kick-off. So they beat Man United as well. So I thought there would be a bit more. I mean, maybe they've played so much. Maybe they're just,
possibly
taking their foot off the gas. Because Championship starts 2 weeks, I think.
I think this from Sunderland has been a little bit of a level of above what they've already done. I would say, especially in the first half when you had like more of the first team players, like Siddiqui coming back in was noticeable. Brian Brobby coming back in was really noticeable. You had a bit more confidence at the back, and Robin Roofs playing out from the back. Like those are really important players. Abib Diarra had a good game, so I guess like the analysis is like when your good players come back in, you look better. It's just common sense, isn't it?
Yeah. Wrexham making some subs. Four
I think
players coming on.
I think at least two of these are youngsters. I would say.
No, I think they're all seniors.
Are they all
Scars
seniors?
a centre back. Brunt used to play at Leicester. He's a player. Cleworth is a normal centre back. And Ryan Barnett.
They've got quite a big squad, Wrexham, haven't they?
I really, really like what Wrexham have done in that they sign a lot of older players because I think they've found the hole in the market. Because everyone buys young, it means that these sort of older players are just kind of undervalued because everyone wants to sign 23-year-olds.
That is true. I feel like Parky's like a. I don't want to stereotype him too much, but I feel like he's not the guy for working with young players.
No, I don't think he is. But you kind of
I'm just going to stop my son running up the stairs.
That's fair enough. It's important. Can't let your kids run up the stairs.
No.
Yeah, these Wrexham subs aren't kids. They're all senior players. Oh, there we are. We got a baby on stream.
George just saying hello.
Hello, George.
He gives better takes on football than me, to be fair.
Get him in the echo.
Go on, George. Go and see your man.
There we are.
God, the stream's had it all, hasn't it?
10-second cameo. Yeah, I think Sunderland have done... Since the changes against Liverpool, we really struggle. Obviously, it's a different quality, I suppose, but considering this is a senior Wrexham team...
I go back, though, the intensity is just like Wrexham just don't appear to be really bothered about pressing the ball at all, do they?
No, it's dull. We're not selling it, though, are we?
We're not really, are we? But I mean, you've got to call it as you see it, because otherwise it would look stupid if we said it was an amazing game.
Yeah, true. Jay says, bring him back. My kids want to say hi. I don't know. I think George is probably...
He's off now.
Rob says this is the best analysis all stream, saying it's not a very good game, but Wrexham are building an attack here. Player of the match is George. Would you agree? Not Dobson, presumably.
No, not George Dobson.
Hjelde whacking it out for a throw-in. What's Hjelde's future, do you think, at Sunderland?
He's got to go, hasn't he? He's like, I like him. He's a nice guy. He's not... I mean, he hasn't really proven himself as regular championship quality yet, has he? Because he hasn't really played too many minutes at that level regularly.
He didn't get any minutes last season, did he?
No, I appreciate he's really good around the dressing room and all of that sort of stuff, but he needs to just go and play somewhere, whether he drops down to League One. You know, he can play left back, centre back, which I think is good. It helps his case, but he's got no long term future at Sunderland, I don't think, has he?
No, he's one of them. He's never, to be honest, after we signed him, he never ever looked.
He didn't, did he?
No. Yeah.
Although he did contribute, his greatest contribution in the Sunderland shirt was that he was the dummy run for Ballard's goal against Coventry.
He was.
So we'll always have that.
We will always have that. He also came on in the playoff final, didn't he? Oh, Patterson's got that away.
Did a bit of a flap there by Patterson, but he did get it away.
Got it away, mate. Let's not call it a flap. Let's call it a punch.
Okay, fair enough. A successful punch.
A successful punch. Spanner says, this is probably one for you, James. Do either of you know if the home matches general sales seats will be the same amount as last season, ballot or ticket Tuesdays? So I'm guessing the ballot tickets or the general admission tickets that they had last season. I don't know if they've all been sold for the game, but I know my brother won on the ballot.
Did he? I don't know whether they've all been sold, but I would have to get this confirmed. But I think there's about 7k what we used to call general admission tickets. So you would hope that they all went to ballot. When the club announced this partnership with P1, the travel company, they said that the ballot wouldn't be affected in terms of the numbers. So hopefully...
How is that right then? How could the ballot not be affected?
Well, hopefully they've reduced allocation. Sorry, not allocation, segregation somehow or something like that. I don't know. I think it's a question that might need answering at some point because we can maybe do a separate video on it at some point. But I'm not a massive fan of this P1 partnership, just because I think ultimately it allows you just to bypass the ballot if you've got 128 quid for the Fulham game, and it's not a Sunderland hospitality package in a sense that all the hospitality is done off-site. It's done at the Hilton Hotel. So the big draw for it is getting a match day ticket. I think the stand is not that far from the press box, Connor, in the Premier Concourse, which weren't season ticket holder seats anyway. So if these seats aren't from general admission, I do wonder where they've come from.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not a massive fan of them.
There's nowhere else that could really come. Like, unless they had, say, 500 people not renew their season tickets.
But then they've got that season ticket waiting list, so surely they just sell the season.
But they don't know, do they? Because the season ticket waiting list was scrapped off for the new season ticket waiting list for members.
That is true. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of clubs do this, and I think Sunderland need to obviously grow revenues. But I just think the timing of it isn't great when you've launched this membership stuff.
Oh, Wrexham got the ball in the box. And
decent by Seal, lad.
Yeah, I thought Adingra maybe could have. He's passed it into the centre backs. That's not good.
That was poor by Adingra.
No, that's
good
not
save
good
by
at all.
Patterson, though.
It's not good at all. Why is Xhaka not playing? He's still. I think he's probably just having. He's got that Sunday feeling after the 6 weeks holidays. I think that's probably what he's got right now. I think players
Proctor
have that.
Go on, Proctor.
Yeah, Proctor.
That's a really good run. Gives it to Anguilo on the left.
Get a goal.
Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad. I thought that was again really positive by Tom Proctor.
I've been really impressed with him. I thought he was really good at York. Obviously, I think he scored, didn't he?
Yeah, he was.
As well.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think players get that feeling, at the end of their summer holiday and they're heading back to pre-season of like when you finish the 6 weeks holidays?
I don't know. I get the feeling that a lot of Sunderland's players just absolutely love it. So I don't know. It's a good question. You'd have to ask them, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even mind school, but I used to have that, at the end of the 6 weeks holidays. Oh, awful. Sunderland whipped the ball in. It is headed out from Wrexham. And I'm going to put my cards on the table. I think this game finishes 1-0.
I reckon so. Sorry, I'm just tweeting about Tom Proctor.
Letting the world know. Adingra sprinting through. Is
that
down?
Oh, he's gone the other way.
The other way. Gary says who scored. It was a very good goal from Nordi Mukiele. It was Bromley sort of laid it off to him and he fired it in through the goalkeeper's legs. Hjelde could end up at Leicester. Yeah, I could see that happening. No Me No News says George has blondish hair, James. Any concerns? Connor would be a baldy blonde, so definitely no issues. Any worries?
His mother's very blonde, so just is what it is.
Is what it is. A lot of kids start with blonde hair anyway, don't they? Then it goes darker as they get older.
Believe it or not, I did. I started with blonde hair, and there's a famous story where my hair was getting quite long. Well, not that famous within my family. My mother shaved all my hair off, much to my grandparents' horror, sort of by accident, because she just went to give me a trim and then messed it up, and then it just grew back dark. But my dad's dark, so Adingra's down here injured.
Yes, he is. It's not ideal. It's a 30 million quid asset.
Waffle on this stream.
It happens when you're recording for how long have we been recording for now? We've been on for 2 hours 23 minutes, mate, and somehow 240 people are sticking around.
That really speaks to the dedication of Sunderland fans, that they want to watch somebody else watching potentially the worst pre-season game I've ever seen.
Red Raccoon says, how do you feel about Wrexham finishing the playoffs based on this American tour? James, how do you feel about Wrexham finishing in the top 8? Because the playoffs are extra. We've got 2 more places this season.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I've not been impressed, to be honest, but I suspect they're going to be okay just because the level of money and investment they've got. I think Parkinson's proven he's quite competent at the level. They've done some decent stuff, to be fair. I don't know if they've got more players to come back, but I don't have any concerns about them judged on this show. And, they haven't been sparkling, but it's really hard to judge on pre-season, isn't it? Ask me after 5 games of the Championship, and I'll probably give you a better idea.
Yeah, I think Wrexham they'll definitely be sort of top 12. They'll be top half, I think, going into next season. The fact that the playoffs goes down though does give a lot of hopes to a lot of hope to teams, because if you're a sort of a Bristol City, a Preston, one of them teams that are stuck around in the Championship for years, you've got an actual better chance now because you can finish 8th.
I think what Wrexham have got going for them is that they've got goal scorers like Broadhead and Kiefer Moore, if they stay fit, are very competent at the level.
You get 25 goals from those two.
It is like we know that in the Championship it's really hard to find regular goal scorers. It's something we struggled with for ages.
That is true. Paul says, thanks for doing the watch along, Connor and James. Prefer your voices to those on the live stream. Appreciate that. John Nesbitt says, I'll tell you what, these players will take some moving on, just not up to scratch at all. John, 2-footed in there on our poor bands. And we were into the final minute of the game, 89 minutes. Wrexham I think they've tested Patterson once. Did they play a shot on target in the first half? I don't know if they did.
They've once with a shot, but then he had that parry away as well, didn't he? When they put him under a bit of pressure, so it's not been backs to the wall, has it?
Poor Rob McElhenney with the game in Philadelphia, and he's been treated to an absolute stinker. I think in terms of the rankings of the pre-season games, I don't know if this is better than or worse than Leeds. I suppose at least we've scored on this one.
Yeah. No, is that sub Trailgun Sui coming on?
Charles Hunt has dogs, let one rip, and it smells. So that's not good. Thanks for the information though, Charles.
I'm right. Would you say Roofs was impressive in the first half? Like, I feel like he didn't really do much, but it's just his presence was noticeable.
I mean, he didn't have anything to do, would probably be what I'd say. But I would say he looked composed on the ball.
I'm going to take him out.
Long ball up. Ogunsui loses the header. Can we hold on to the win, James? Can we get our first clean sheet of pre-season?
I reckon we can. I think Anguilo's been decent, as well. I know he's had a couple of opportunities, but he's getting in the right positions. He probably should have scored or squared it, but he's been pretty good. I've been more impressed with Anguilo than I was with Mundle, if I'm brutally honest.
Yeah, I'd agree. I thought Anguilo's came on and looked a little bit better. I think Mundle just a few times just gave the ball away, and just felt like he didn't seize the opportunity.
Yeah.
We've got 2 minutes left of the game, James.
I'm just preparing my full-time tweets and graphics, the hidden sides to the game that you don't see. So I'm praying that nothing happens.
Nothing worse.
There is absolutely nothing worse, unless it's like a last-minute winner.
Did you see
like Coventry? Yeah, Coventry at home, I was quite happy to rip everything up.
Yeah.
But like, there's some games where like you just really can't be you're just praying nobody scores.
The Hearts Aberdeen game last night, Hearts were winning 1-0 and conceded 2 goals in pretty much added time.
That's crazy. Oh, it was a good chance.
Headed away. We've got somebody putting in Dirty Sunderland into the comments, and he's just spamming it a million times. I don't really understand. Can I block him?
Well, to be fair, don't, because it'll boost the algorithm.
Oh, no, you can't have somebody just typing it in,
Could you be bothered, though? Like,
there we are. They're all deleted now. I know, I don't really understand. Ban this idiot. He has been muted from the channel. Wrexham sent their goalkeeper up. God, that is commitment in a pre-season friendly. Keep us up. It's headed out. The keeper's still going to stay up. We've got a minute left. Wrexham are desperate to get the equaliser in here. I can't believe I've never seen a goalkeeper come up in a pre-season friendly.
Most exciting thing that's happened.
Dobson's on it. On the corner. Former Sunderland player.
Oh, headed away. Lovely. Beautifully headed away. Oh. By Tutierov, I think.
Oh, we got a chance. Shoot.
Oh, Ogunsui should have shot.
I don't think he could have shot from there, to be fair. Well, 30 seconds left, James. It looks like we're going to get the win. Looks like we're going to get the W on the board for pre-season. What's your overall thoughts? we'll wrap
It's
it
good
up.
to build winning habits, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah. Have we learned
No,
anything?
I thought the first half lads obviously did really well. As I say, having Roofs back is a bit of a comfort blanket. I thought Brobby looked really sharp, which was good. Thought Diarra was good. Having Siddiqui back was noticeable. Thought Rig played some really nice passes in the middle. I thought Siddiqui actually, the volume of forward passes he attempted, not all, oh, we've got a chance here.
Oh,
We've got a chance. Patterson's
oh,
got to come out. Oh, he's dealt with it well. Fair play. Nearly
keeping that
1-1.
keeping that clean sheet.
Yeah, I mean, that first half is more what I would expect. I think in the second half, I think Anguilo's done well. Massively impressed by Tom Proctor. And that's full time.
Yeah, it is. We've had somebody
Phil
else
Parkinson in the mud.
in the comments sending who wants Big Barry. I don't understand. Why are all these bots coming from? Right, anyway, I don't think we've got a ton more really to talk about, James, and also, it wasn't a particularly entertaining game, so let's wrap it up. Let's call it a day. Thanks everyone for watching. And I'll be back tomorrow morning. I don't know what time. It probably isn't going to be 10:30, but I'll be back tomorrow at some point to do a transfer stream. Hopefully Regis gives us some comments after the game and we can get some transfer speculation going. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks James for joining. We'll do a Disco Pants this week live. Well, not live, but in person. That's what I meant.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. We'll do that. Check out all the sponsors. Check out the book. I'm sure you've heard about it a million times though, so if you haven't checked it out already, you're probably not going to. And we'll see you soon. Thanks everyone for watching.